What's up? What's up, chat? Hello. This isn't quite right. That's a little better. What's up? Hello. I know, surprise stream. Surprise, I gotcha. What? I don't know. Probably no one's here, but someone might watch the intro because everyone is used to me putting out an announcement well ahead of time when I'm going live. What's up, Daniel? Hello. The main reason that we're here is because I am testing a new thumbnail program. Surprise, test stream. G Herka Beckliz, hello. Oh man, I always want to have music on stream, but then it distracts me. I need to just have it for like the first minute while I'm not talking, and then turn it off. What's up?
I just wanted to look at my hair.
You wanted to look to see how it looks in the camera?
It looks definitely just black.
It looks much more black.
Yeah, it doesn't look blue at all.
Yeah, the camera's washing it out a little bit. Sag. Anywho, okay, so what we're doing here and now is we're making YouTube more like Twitch. Gasp! No! What? But I chose YouTube for a reason. Why would I want it to be more like Twitch? Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Hold on to your pants, all right? I'll tell you. If I go here, let's see, view in the control room. There we go. Okay, and we'll see when it actually happens. It'll be much more obvious what's kind of going on. But if I go to screen share, oh wait, this is screen. So on Twitch, you will notice Twitch does not do any sort of thumbnails. You know what I'm saying? They only do like a screenshot from the last like 5 minutes of your live. So as you are live, it basically gives people like a little preview of exactly what you're doing. Like I can see this is a VTuber. These are all recommended Minecraft channels, FPS. You know, like I can see instantly what's going on. Whereas on YouTube, and you will all be familiar, so I don't need to describe YouTube as much because you guys are all viewing me on YouTube. But YouTube requires a thumbnail. They say, okay, actually, that's technically not true. Technically, you can go live without a thumbnail, which you guys actually saw earlier. It's this little guy. This is just my banner. So if you go live without a thumbnail, it's just your banner, which I think is fine. Like if I am going into just a random stream, that maybe is just like something I want to go live and I don't like care that much about how it performs after the fact or like, you know, people watching it as a VOD. I don't care about that as much. Then this is fine. But this is not fine like long term. You know, it's like you get the broad idea of what I'm doing based on the title, but you don't see a good representation of what I'm doing. So you can even see this, like I know if I go to Sykkuno's always the one that sticks in my mind because for his lives, he uses just like fan art, but he uses like the same couple images just in a rotation, no matter what. And it's like, yeah, for GTA 4 No Pixel, he has a GTA specific thumbnail, kind of like I do for Critical Eyes. But it's like G6 Ranger, then Games with Pokey on our first YouTube stream. It's like, if I did not know what any of that means, I can't even like get a broad vibe of it. Because you can't even, while it's live, you can't even hover over it to see. So it's like I can hover over one of my VODs and it'll show you stuff, but it won't actually show you anything here. So what I have done is I have made, and let me make sure that the timer's on, because it should be going off here soon. It should have already gone off. Uh-oh. That's not good. Let's see. Wait, I guess let me refresh. Hey! Okay. So, this is what I have done, chat. I have replicated the Twitch thumbnail experience. Twitch does this automatically. It just will take a screenshot of your stream, basically, and make that the stream's thumbnail every couple minutes. So what I have done, and it should be somewhere in here. It should have automatically happened. Or maybe it didn't go into here. That's kind of weird. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Program on screen. I'll have to cut that out. But anyways, that should just work. And the reason that I did this, I should read chat. I'm kind of ignoring chat right now. That's not good. The Daggerheart stream? Maybe Daggerheart streams soon. This is part of it. The main problem with Twitch is the company running it. The tech is fine. I mean, they're just not improving it in any way, which is why I'm ultimately, pick YouTube. What if your face in the snapshot is silly? You don't know? I don't know, but that's fine. The point is to give people a vibe of what is happening without me needing to make a thumbnail. Because I'll be honest, there are so many ideas that I have had for a stream that are not thumbnailable. And I made this, or I didn't, Eden made this nice general thumbnail, but even that kind of only goes so far as to showing what's going on, but it's there's a lot of stream concepts where I would just like to go live and play Supervive or do I used to do office hours, things that aren't going to be a series or just little one-off ideas or I just want to go live and talk about, the last Critical Eyes. Oh, wait, that little box, I think, means that it just happened. Oh, yep, it's doing it. I need to figure out a way for it to not put up that little command window. Because I think that'll be a little distracting if it happens every 5 minutes. But that little window does mean that I think it should have updated the thumbnail again. So let's see. It did! Hooray! So it's working. Let's go. So yeah, it's mostly because there are small stream concepts that I would like to do, and I would like to just get on and chat more with stream. And I realized it. I've known it for a little while that I wanted to do something like this, and I've been slowly working on it over the past few honestly months. But I finally, after last stream especially, there were several questions that people had for me in the last Critical Eyes that were good, fun questions. Oh, that's a little loud. and it's like it's humming in a way where I feel like it's about to get louder. But yeah, there was a few questions that like were legitimately like good, and I would want to answer them. And occasionally people will come in like and ask me like, hey, this thing is happening in my game. And I love to answer those types of questions. But it's tough during Critical Eyes. Because Critical Eyes is a show. I've been thinking a lot about Critical Eyes because it's so goddamn long. And I've tried so many things to make it shorter. But it's ultimately that part of the thing that I like about it is that it's long. Like, I want to take my time. I want to provide a unique experience outside of just watching Critical Role. Because if you want to watch Critical Role, you should just do it on their channel. And so I want my streams to be different. So I want to take my time. I want to, you know, take big, long tangents to talk about minute details. But answering questions about, like, this happened in my game, what should I do? Those are not Critical Role related. And a lot of times I still want to answer them because there's kind of no other place for someone to come in and ask me about that. Because I don't do a lot of other streams anymore. And so one of the like real kicks in the ass to get me to actually make this program and like make it work and all that sort of stuff is that facet of it. Is I want Critical Eyes to be more just Critical Eyes, and that's what we're doing. And I want to feel more comfortable being like, hey, I'm not going to answer that question, but like stop by on a stream where it's not Critical Eyes, and I will answer it. Because I want to answer it. I want to engage with you guys that way. But I didn't really have a space to do it, and I did not want to make a thumbnail for those sorts of streams. I hate making thumbnails. It's one of my least favorite things to do. Is make fucking thumbnails. That's why the Critical Eyes thumbnail, I found, you know, we found a design that I liked, and I just update the number because I hate it. So the goal of this is to make those sorts of streams easier. It'll also hopefully make it more clear when I'm streaming versus a VOD. So the VODs on Critical Eyes will all still have the normal Critical Eyes thumbnail. The broadcast before I'm live will also still have the normal Critical Role thumbnail. But mid Critical Eyes, I will do this like auto updating feature. Because I also, on top of everything else, I want to make it extra abundantly clear like what is what is currently right now live. I know that YouTube has the little tag on it. It's okay. And so, yeah, so I wanted to have this for all of those types of options. And yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of a test stream. I just want to make sure that it continues to function, really. I don't want to, see it work twice and assume that it's going to continue working forever. So I'm going to do a little bit of the Bazaar, which is a game I've been playing lately, and then I'll probably end the stream. It'll probably be a relatively short stream. And yeah, that's the shit. That's a feature, not a bug. Of the snapshot is silly. That is a feature, not a bug. And even not to brag on myself too much, but I will say one of the cool things about this is I actually have more control over the thumbnail than even Twitch streamers do. Like, I can set exactly how often it updates. I basically get to do it 200 times a day. That's like the quota that I have with YouTube. And so it's like, 200 times a day. So depending on the length of the stream, I just have to make sure it's within that quota. So I can set the frequency that it updates. And I could even add shit onto it. So like I could take the screenshot and then I could like add an overlay that's like, I don't know, fucking get in here now. I don't know. I could make a threat in the thumbnail. Or I could put a big red banner on the top that says live or some shit like that. So there's a lot of cool stuff I could do with this system that is theoretically even cooler than Twitch. So yeah, and I could turn it off. I can manipulate the timer to where it's, updating exactly when I want it to. That's a good point, G Hercub. Yeah, not updating it during the break. That could definitely be an option because I use the same break stream for everything. So you're right, that wouldn't be very informative. So I could easily, like, when I go into break, I could pause the timer that is like timing when it updates, and then when I'm out of break, I restart it. So yeah, it's I'm very excited about it, and I'm very hopeful for my ability to then to do more stuff, just because I'm removing kind of this layer of friction for me personally. So yeah. I think it's okay you're ignoring chat more than usual. It is a test stream. Fellow Bazaar player, what's up, Ivo? Yes, sir. 80, 81, 82, Rock. Dude, the Rock was important. I still have to write the takeaway today. So I'm not, I got other stuff to do today, so I won't be live for too long. But I am going to write a takeaway, and it is going to be about the Rock. I hope you're not a Dooley player. I am a Vanessa player because I have to be. I have not been playing that long. Wait, what the fuck? Did they update some shit? Oh, no, that's what it always looks like. Never mind. Dude, I feel like they're hot fixing this game like every other day. If you did a 24-hour stream, you couldn't do it every 5 minutes. It'd be a max of every 7.2 minutes. Would it be? Every 5 minutes is 12 times an hour. Yeah, I couldn't do that. Oh, no. I couldn't do it every 5 minutes. No. It's absolutely flawed. That's crazy. I'd have to change it. Every 5 minutes seems like you go over 200, especially with the length of the last few. Well, every 5 minutes is 12 times an hour. So it would max out at, let's see, 200 over 12. So with the current system, it would max out at 16 hours. Unless, to be fair, unless I am doing, multiple streams in a day. Yep, that's going to be annoying. All right, got to fix that. Even if it just goes up on a different screen. I got to fix it to where those bash lines don't come up. Actually, I could just do that now. Okay. How to make a bat file run minimized. Or in the background. How do I minimize the command prompt for my bat file? Thank you, Stack Overflow. To execute a strip minimize by making him restart itself minimized. Here's the code to put it at the beginning. Wait, what? If not defined is minimized, set is minimized to 1. What? Why can't I just... Huh? Well, that's strange. I feel like there would be an easier one, right? Use the start command with the /min switch to run minimized. For example, start min.bat. Wait. So I would need to. Oh no. Oh no. So I would have to have another bat file that ran the previous bat file minimized? That sounds weird, but I could do it. Do a lot of newcomers find your channel through live streams, or is it mostly VODs that bring people in? It is, well, when I'm doing shorts, it's mostly shorts. And then it is longs, and then it is lives. But there's also, it's a bit hard to tell. My analytics are a bit skewed because the autopsy of Tiberius Stormwind just keeps doing numbers. I don't know how there are still more people in existence that want to watch that and haven't yet. It's actually a little crazy to me that there continue to be people that haven't seen it, that continue to come in. So if I bring this up, yeah. You can see how people find your live stream. Well, no, that's how people find your live streams, not. There we go. So yeah, I mean, this is for the last 28 days. But new viewers, 496 from live streams, 1.6 from shorts, 1 from videos, which is also crazy because I haven't posted a short in like 3 weeks. So the shorts continue to bring people in, but people that actually stick around, much more from live streams than shorts. So they're still mostly from long videos, which is tough because I'm not very good at making long videos. But I also think one of the other, is all multifaceted, but one of the other reasons I want to make doing kind of one-off streams easier is because I think one of the reasons that live streams don't bring in more than they currently do is partially because I mainly do like one series and that's it. So I think that's also part of it. And you can see returning viewers live stream is much higher. Over the past year, I'm curious to see if it changes at all. Oop. Doesn't like it. All right, 90 days. 90 days. Broom. It's all shorts. It's all shorts all the way down, baby. Which I also think, like, it's saying subscribers off of shorts. I feel like very few people actually, like, they watch a short and they click the subscribe button off of that. I think more often what happens is people watch a short and then they go and watch something else and possibly subscribe off of that, which would then count it in one of those other buckets. So it's the live streams are a very important component of it. NL introduced you to the game, I assume. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's all Northern Lion. It's Northern Lion all the way down, dude. And you know what's crazy? I just started watching Northern Lion probably, I think I started watching NL like 2 weeks ago. I've been, Northern Lion is just someone that exists on the periphery of all of content creation. And it's like, he's just out there, but I never actually watched him. But it's like, once you start watching, it's just an infinite well of content because he has so many hours streamed, and you have the librarian that cuts it down so nice and digestible. So I've been kind of mainlining Northern Lion. Yeah. There's something like no GUI or something. Min is what I was thinking of. Okay, so let me pull up the batch file. Let's see. So I don't really care about. Oh my God! Excuse me. I don't really care about resizing the thumbnail. If I open that in Notepad, let me make sure that file path isn't bad. Wait, what? Oh, I don't run it through a bat file. I run it directly. That might be part of the problem. That could be part of the issue as I run the exe. I run the exe individually. I only run the bat file for the Python. I also just realized I cannot show this screen. I can't do that. Well, I should be able to. Wait. I should be able to fix this in the C#. I just realized. I don't even need to do all this. Okay. Also, don't make fun of my organizational structure. This is one of my first times building a C# program, like fully from the ground up, that I'm like meant to like use consistently. Okay, wait. Also, let me make sure that there's nothing crazy in it. I don't think there is. I'm trying to make sure that like the client secret isn't on there. Okay, I don't think so. Okay, I should just be able to make it not do that. I forgot that it wasn't running through a bat file, because the Python script is running through a batch file. Anyone remember when YouTube would start bugging out on streams longer than 4 hours and had a hard limit of 6? Oh, yes, sir. Well, and I found out something awesome during my 72-hour stream, that it won't save VODs over 24 hours. That was cool. That was awesome to find out. It still blows my mind that shorts are popular. I hate them, but it seems like others love them. I mean, I think love is probably a strong word. I think a lot of people are addicted to them. I think short form media is short form content is just like, it's just so wildly addicting. Also, what is the command to zoom in on Visual Studio Code? Ah, there it is. So I think it's I don't know about popular necessarily. Do VODs count as live or video? I believe they count as live, but I'm honestly not entirely sure. I believe they count as live though. The autopsy was my first video. I believe it. I absolutely believe it. If I had known how well the autopsy would do, frankly, I would have put more effort into it. Like, I put an amount of effort into it. I'd say I put more effort into the autopsy than I put into a standard Critical Eyes. But if I had known it would do so well, I would have put in more than that. Yeah, what's the autopsy sitting at now? It's sitting at, yeah, Jesus Christ, dude. It's so crazy. Oh, yeah, this is the autopsy. Yeah. And it's still 35 views today, last 48 hours, or I guess last 2 days. The Dragon Week video, so much less. It's crazy. The Dragon Week video is already down to like 1 view a day, if that. But it's just like, it just keeps going. And I'm like, how are there 41,000 people that want to watch this? I mean, I think it's good. I'm just so shocked. You know, the average view duration is 25 minutes. That's so long. Oh my gosh, it's crazy, dude. The autopsy's crazy. And I will say, I will be making autopsy-like videos for each person in Vox Machina that I will put more effort into. But yeah, it's wild. I also hate shorts. If I wanted TikTok, I'd download TikTok. I mean, I'm the same way. There's a reason that I have to use a third-party like batch uploader to upload shorts to TikTok, because otherwise I just wouldn't. I do not want to open the app. I realized on mobile, next to the little shorts offering, you can click like show less shorts, and it's actually really nice. It shows substantially less shorts now. Like, it's like one occasionally. And it doesn't show like the big offering every time I open up the home feed. Because I won't lie, I'm not immune to it. I see a shorts thumbnail that looks interesting. I click it, and then I'm in. That's the crazy thing is I click on a short from like Hank Green, and then I just swipe on reflex, and then they've got me, which fucking sucks, dude. To be fair, there's some really good shorts. I didn't read this. I didn't read this at first. But yeah, dude, it's like I'll click on a Hank Green short because it actually looks really interesting, and then they hook me. It fucking sucks, dude. I hate the swiper feed, the swipe feed. I heard about you from SGM and checked out the autopsy, then went back through the VODs. It is the pipeline. And I'm definitely I'm aware of that. I need to go through the autopsy at some point and do some shorts of it. The next thing that I'm working on, because you might have noticed that there's no more eye patches lately. And it's because, well, most of any editing time that I'm spending is going towards Dragon Week cutdowns. But I'm also just not spending very much editing time right now at the moment. I'm mostly doing like coding improvements and streaming. But the next big thing that I'm working on in terms of coding is more transcript improvements, which is why they failed on 82 part 1. So now I have all of these chunks for the transcript so that it's easier to parse through, and all of the chunks take all of the they take the top words spoken in that chunk and display it to me, so it's making it a little bit easier to tell like off the bat what people said. I'm adding more and more words to the stop words to get filtered out. Like, I want to filter out the word like or no or think. But so I add those to like a filter out area. But that should eventually allow me. I'm hopeful for two things. Number one, that it'll allow me to do more sustainable chat sentiment interaction. So I'd really love if I could do a stream where it's like I'm building a dungeon and I click a button and I'm and it displays a question on screen of I don't know, something like how many rooms should there be in the basement? And then I can have the program capturing your chats, and then I hit a button and it displays the top 10 words. So I don't have to try to go through and manually calculate all of it. I don't have to set up a poll with pre-existing questions. I can just let you guys naturally chat, and then I can have a program that just pulls out the top words. And I can, and then theoretically, this is way long term, but that could eventually allow us to do something like broad sentiment analysis of picking out the top words and drawing conclusions from that. And I would be able to do it all without using an AI. I would be able to do it all without a chat GPT or a large language model. Because a refinement algorithm to just narrow down hot keywords in chat isn't that hard to create. It just takes a lot of effort. And it could get 90% of the way to what ChatGPT can do. And so then we could do some fun things that you might have seen some channels do with ChatGPT analyzing chat messages and responding. We could do things pretty close to that without using an LLM, which would be super cool. When working on large language models, there we go. I used a set of stop words from the internet, basically a word that can be found in any text regardless of theme, so they don't tell much. Yeah, I need to. Most of what I'm doing right now is testing it. I have the stop words set up in a completely different file. So my hope is that once I once I prove the concept, I can download a big list of stop words and it should be able to feed straight into the program. What are thoughts on D&D's lack of support control cantrips? Ooh! Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about, or I'm gonna finish reading chat on the last topic, but then I want to read this. What is this? Test stream is turned into chat time. The test works, and he is still live. Yes, sir. Well, it's also part of it is that I want to I want to make sure that it continues working. So part of it is longevity. I don't trust after 30 minutes that it'll work for a 6-hour stream. I need to do like an hour or two to get confidence in that. But yeah. The autopsies and the rest of the cast characters will be fascinating. I have thoughts. Oh, I have lots of thoughts. I have lots and lots of thoughts. I just got a vision of West March's style grid exploration, but with chat controlling what is in each grid. I gotta zip my lip. I can't talk about anything because I don't want to, because I've realized something that I do that is a problem and is one of the reasons that the Unseen campaign really didn't work is I start talking about something that I'm working on stream, and then it gets me really excited about that thing when other people are excited about it, and then I put it out too early. So I'm not, I will officially say no comment, but ideas in this vein are some of what my mind is going down. And I think that there's some really cool opportunities there for like live streamed D&D content that would be completely unique. Like I don't see anyone else doing, and I've looked. So that's one of the things that I'm working on. Doesn't YouTube have a poll option? You'd have to write the poll and options up, but if it's just a number question, we don't need the actual question written out. So kind of. YouTube has, I can show you directly. YouTube has a poll option, but the problem is with something like a poll. So if I say like start poll, I can ask a question and then I can define up to I believe 4 options. Yep. I can define up to 4 options, which is just a really it's just a really small sample set. And I can also start a Q&A, so I can do test. And then for the Q&A, you all can submit questions, but there's no like aggregation. I can't see like, oh, this question has been asked this many times, something like that. There's nothing, there's a very, or how do I say it? The polls are very limited. So I've seen that sort of thing. I've seen people do like, more of like what I would call a choose your own adventure style of stream, where they have several pre-planned polls, which is like super doable, because you can preset up polls and then like upload them at like the press of a button. But I want the option for people to put in free form answers, and for those free form answers to be analyzed and like sentiment determined, which is, it's the right type of difficult. It's the right type of difficult. No comment. No comment. But it's the right amount of difficult where it is not technically impossible by any stretch of the imagination. One of the best things, like one of the things that code is best at, is taking large amounts of data and determining patterns or determining standouts, analyzing large sets of data. And so code is like really properly positioned to solve this sort of problem. And chat is weirdly one of the most accessible things within a live stream. Like, it's so much easier for me to get your entire message, your profile picture, your name, your channel link. Like, I can get so much info programmatically about chat messages compared to like anything else on the platform. It's actually kind of crazy how open it is. But I also get it because so many people will do like rewards or, you know, like chat interaction is like the foundation of live streaming. So I fully understand why there's so much support there. But yeah, so it's something that I am working on for various ideas, is ways to aggregate chat. And then possibly, this one's a lot harder, mostly in that I don't have the particular expertise. So I will either have to like hire someone or use a service or use a third-party tool or something. But I'd really, really like to be able to process old VODs and put them into a transcript-like form, especially if it could differentiate speakers. Now, I know that there are tools out there. Like, I've already found tools that could just do that. Like, I could download an old VOD and it could split it all up. They're just a little expensive. So I'm trying to program my own, but it's a lot harder, so that I could do transcript-like analysis for like old critical eyes. Because making an eye patch isn't that hard when I have the transcripts, but it's very hard when I don't have the transcripts. So that's a lot of what I'm doing right now. But anyways. I'm a professional programmer. If you wanted limited feedback pool and or collaborator, maybe. I've already engaged in the error. I've talked about it publicly. Forget I ever said anything, because ultimately it might not happen for one of 100 reasons, you know? And when I talk about something publicly, it makes me excited, and then I rush it because I just want to get it out, and then it's worse than it could have been. So forget I said anything. But when it's ready, if it's ready, maybe I would absolutely. I mean, if I'm being really frank and honest, I would probably do like members only first. So I would do like some members only test stuff. Because there's a surprising amount of techie people. Well, maybe not that surprising, but there's a lot of techie people in chat. I might start playing with YouTube API on my spare time. Dude, the YouTube API is a dark black hole, but I'm starting to get it. I had not done a lot of API work before this. I had done almost exclusively like standalone apps, just completely standalone tools, and this is most of my experience, is essentially modding. But, you know, the professional corporate America modder sense, where I would take an existing program or an existing code base and I would make improvements to it. So a lot of which suited my skill sets really well. I'm much, well, I guess maybe not better, but I have a lot of experience and at this point a decent talent for looking at other people's code and understanding what it does very quickly, and like what I can remove, what I can keep, what I need to keep, which parts are going to be the real resource suckers, especially if it's in a framework or a language that I already know. So that's most of what I used to do. So now working on my own and like having to build things from scratch, it's a pretty new world. Like, you know, I did a lot of this stuff in college, but again, most of my professional experience is all in that sort of like modding territory. Yeah. Reading other people's code is much harder than writing your own, so that's a valuable skill to have. I was good. I was good at what I did, and I was not. And yeah, there weren't very many people. And it's, you know, it's kind of like what I say about Critical Eyes. It's like I got hired to do that, and I just got good at it through the job. And then I realized it's not a skill that many coders have. And so I then like parlayed that into more work. But that did kind of atrophy my solo coding skills because I wasn't doing a lot of projects while I was doing that work. And so now it's like, you know, simple shit like, oh, fuck, I have this code, this C# code that I want to like run. How do I build a C# executable? I didn't know. I had to look it up. I was like, fuck, I have this C# code that I just want to run. I don't really know how to do that. So it's like weird shit like that where it's like I know C# really well, but I had no idea how to build a project, so I had to figure it out. But anyways, going way back to a question that G-Hercub asked earlier, what are your thoughts on D&D's lack of support control cantrips? When playing a pacifist character, I noticed I have nothing to do in combat without spending spell slots. Yeah. I think something that D&D doesn't do that it could really benefit from is more control specifically. I understand why they don't have more support stuff. So when I think of support stuff, I think of things like Bless, right? Bless would be like kind of my go-to thought for a support spell. And you will notice like the gap between a first level spell and a cantrip kind of has to be huge because it's the difference between spending a resource and not spending a resource. The difference between a level 1 and 2 spell can be much, much smaller because either way you are spending some resource, right? And D&D's challenge is derived from resource management. So if I look up like Bless does pretty much like almost the minimum you can do with a support spell. Like it is whenever they make an attacker saving throw, adds a 1d4. That's the lowest value die that we have in D&D. And so there's this awkward sort of situation where you could have a support cantrip that did maybe what Bless does, but it's a single 1d4 instead of 3 creatures within range. You could certainly do that. And frankly, I think they should do something like that. I think if they were looking at this and they were thinking about it naturally, if it was a cantrip, I think they would tend towards like a +1 to 3 characters or a +2 to 1 character. But they've broadly tried to get rid of riders. So they can't do just like a straight +1. If they're going to do any addition, it's going to be an added die to the die pool. Oh yeah, definitely got to fix that. Oh wait, shit, I forgot that that's what I was doing. I'll figure it later. But the value of support is way higher than the value of debuff. Mostly because, like, if you think about something like the Bazaar, or something like Magic the Gathering, or a MOBA, like Dota or League of Legends. Those are pitched competitions in which the two sides are generally meant to be equal. They're generally meant to be equal. So, like, the value of a player in League of Legends, theoretically, at base, is equivalent to the value of a different character. Like when you kill one, when either side kills a player, they get a standard amount of XP. Because no like particular hero is valued by the game itself more or less than any others. The meta might beg to differ, but that's how it is in like a pitched competition. In chess, your opponent's pawn is not worth more than your pawn. Now that said, D&D is not like that. You know what I'm saying? Like D&D, your party members are more valuable than the adversaries you fight. Not even on like a base level of like, they're player characters and I want to keep my teammates alive. It's not even on that level. It is on the level of like, you are meant to fight multiple balanced encounters per day because of how the resources work out. So support, like at a baseline, like if we consider like Bless versus Bane, Banm. We consider like Bless versus Bane, right? Bane is less valuable than Bless, which is, kind of interesting, kind of weird. I think the reason that they are the same level is because Bane makes spell casting easier. So I think Bane in specific is as valuable as Bless because Bless only affects attack rolls and not saving throws. Well, it affects saving throws for the person, but it doesn't affect saving throws for the enemy. So if you Bane something, it makes it easier to get off high value spells. So I think that's why they're kind of put up next to each other. But broadly, debuffing is less valuable in D&D than buffing because you're going to be fighting multiple things. So like 3 creatures on the enemy side are less valuable than 3 creatures on your side. But I would love to see them go even harder into debuff. I think debuff is a really good opportunity because I think it is easier to overall balance. Again, because it is affecting the adversaries. That is a lot easier for a DM to handle. Like if you have a cantrip that is like you look at something and it gets disadvantage on its next attack roll. I don't know, something like that. That's a cantrip, let's say. Basically the opposite of True Strike. Let's think about the opposite of True Strike. That maybe is a good example. With that, that's substantially easier for a DM to balance around, and a DM handles most of the balancing in D&D. Because you can, if you notice that cantrip being too powerful, you can put more monsters in the fight. If you notice it being less powerful, you can put fewer monsters in the fight, right? Like debuffs are way more within the DM's control to like on the spot balance. As opposed to a buff, which just kind of always exists. Like let's say that True Strike could be applied to an ally, which I wouldn't even be that against, honestly. If True Strike could buff an ally, it is way harder for a DM to deal with that because the players can strategize and use that creatively. And especially if you had a suite of buffing cantrips, they would be able to like always pick the best cantrip for the time. It's much harder to look at a list of buffing aspects as a DM and design an encounter where you can kind of address that. So I would love more debuff stuff. And I would also like more buffing stuff, but I understand why they haven't gone in that direction. And I also understand why they haven't gone in the debuffing direction, because I think it also has a lot to do with the action economy. Making an adversary worse at something has like a compounding effect, where trading your turn and not spending any resources to make their turn worse, regardless of if they spend resources, is pretty powerful. Like, you can just sit there the entire combat and say, I'm not going to spend any resources, and I'm going to make it to where I'm going to look at you, and I'm going to say, regardless of if you spend resources, you're worse at it. The way around that might be to make the cantrip a save or suck. But people are already kind of iffy on save or sucks. The only reason that they, tolerate them is because they mostly have really good benefits on the other side. Or they mostly have really powerful effects on the other side. I don't know how they feel about it with a cantrip. I wouldn't be that opposed to it, honestly, on a cantrip, frankly. But I think that may be why they avoid it. Yeah. D&D is like simultaneously very concerned with mostly being an additive game, just like building, not a lot of debuffs, and simultaneously with not allowing too much comboing. Because they rely so much on the DM to balance things, and comboing is tough for a DM or for anyone to manage. It's normally why you have like a design team for something like the Bazaar, So that's my general thought process. I think it would be something that is super worth investing in. Like, I think they should put active effort into making True Strike better. I'm really sad that they didn't, because True Strike is like kind of the example, Oh, wait, they actually did. Wait, did they do it better? Guided by a magical flash of insight, you make one attack with the weapon used in the spell's casting. Right. I forgot about this. Yeah, they did make it better, to be fair. If the attack deals damage, it can be radiant, and then it scales up. This is fine. It's basically like Green Flame Blade. It's nothing special. It's not what it used to be, or what it was used to be going for. Like, I legitimately think this is a cool idea for a support cantrip. True. I truly do. I kind of think if it was, instead of your magic gains you brief insight, on your next turn you gain advantage on your first attack roll against the target, provided that this spell hasn't ended. I think if they changed this to the next attack made on the target has advantage, basically the side effect of Guiding Bolt. Like imagine the side effect of Guiding Bolt, which is just like the next attack has advantage. Put that into True Strike, keep everything else the same. Keep it concentration. If one round goes by and no one attacks them, you wasted your turn, that's fine. Like, I think that sort of thing. Run ads. No ads. No ads on the test stream. Come on. I think that would be a good example of a support cantrip that is kind of risky, but could provide really consistent value, which I think would be awesome. So that's the sort of thing I would go on. And honestly, making most support cantrips like concentration, most support or debuff cantrips, making them concentration, making them like only affect it for like one thing. I think going in this direction of making it something that is like a Guiding Bolt, where it provides a buff to an ally, but only for one hit and only on one specific target, so it still is kind of a debuff. I think that could be a really good way to go. But They have not. And I get why they haven't. But I think I love playing support characters. I love support characters. I love that archetype. I'm a fucking Rocket Raccoon main. Before he was good, I want to point that out. Before his ult got changed. I'm a Rocket main, dude. I really like supporting. And it is kind of sad that you can't do as much supporting in D&D. I would really like it if I think they should invest some time into it. I don't know that I have the direct answer for how to make it better, but I think it would be really valuable to put some effort into it. A cantrip bless could be one target instant instead of 3 targets and a minute of concentration. Could be. I think something like that could be good. Yeah. Debuffing is more variable in value as well. Buffing a single person on your side is virtually always the same value. Debuffing one person on the opposing side varies wildly. Exactly. And that gives more ability to the DM to handle it. You know what I'm saying? When it's like this really consistent value on your allied side, it becomes harder. But also because you don't necessarily know the strengths and weaknesses. Yeah. Buff debuff is what I think Bard should be. I fully agree. Yep. Bards have one of the very few debuffing cantrips, Vicious Mockery, arguably the only one. Agreed. There's, Mind Sliver? I think Mind Sliver is one of the few other debuffing cantrips. Int saving throw, take 1d6 psychic and subtract 1d4 from the next saving throw it makes. Yep. Which is very similar to Vicious Mockery. I love these cantrips. Those are great. I built an entire character around Mind Sliver. I think it was super cool. I'd argue the reason that the spell is so iconically Bard is precisely because that's what a Bard should be. I think that's an argument you can make. I agree. One second, I need to take off my sweatshirt. It's hot. They made True Strike completely different, so I wouldn't count that as improvement. They just made a different spell and named it True Strike. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's basically fucking it's basically just Green Flame Blade. I mean, it's not exactly Green Flame Blade, but it's one of these. There's a whole category of spells like this, of cantrips like this, that is just like you make an attack and that attack does something a little different. Which, Frank, I'll say it, I don't know if people like these spells, the Green Flame Blades of the world, the new True Strikes of the world. I think they're I don't like them. I think they're a little, they're just boring to me. Booming Blade's another good example. Booming Blade. I just they're cool for for a specific type of fantasy. I think they're cool for maybe a Hex Blade or a Sword Dancer. No, not Sword Dancer. Blade Dancer? What's the wizard subclass? It's some I never remember. It's like the Gish wizard. Blade Singer. I think those spells are cool for Blade Singers. I think they're cool for Hex Blades. The occasional cleric. But they feel more almost like maneuvers to me. These feel like things that those classes should just have. Similar to maneuvers or fighting styles, They don't feel like spells. I mean, they do, but they're just, I don't know. To me, they're very boring. I don't like that class of spells very much. Because I love Pact of the Blade Warlock. I don't really love Hexblade, but I love Pact of the Blade. And when I am that sort of warlock, I never want those sorts of spells because they don't evoke to me the fantasy of being like a marshal and a spell slinger at the same time. Like that fantasy to me is not about making my literal attacks do magical shit. It is doing magic at and doing martial and not being, the best at either, but being incredibly flexible. And those spells just don't speak flexibility to me, So I don't fuck with them. I don't fuck with them. And so making True Strike into that is, does Warlock get good support options? I'd say so, honestly. I mean, well, I guess it depends on what you mean by support. I mean, there's a fucking invocation for everything. There's not, but there's quite a few invocations. And I mean, it also depends on what you mean. It's like we're primarily talking about in combat support. And so I would say something like no. Gift of the Depths, arguably, but not really. Gift of the Protectors is a good one. With your permission, a creature can take an action to write its name in your Book of Shadows, which can contain a number of names equal to your Charisma mod. When any creature whose name is on the page is reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, the creature magically drops to 1 HP instead. Once this magic is triggered, they can no longer benefit from it until you finish a long rest. So that's a decent support option. It's a level 9 though. It's pretty powerful. What else? No. No. A lot of it is self-support. So like Otherworldly Leap could be argued to be a support option. But let's see, what else? Oh, Repelling Blast. This is the one I was thinking of. Repelling Blast and Lance of Lethargy. Wait, is Lance of Lethargy not in here? What? Did they get rid of my boy? I loved Lance of Lethargy. Or maybe they just didn't rewrite it, so they didn't reprint it? No! What? Wait. Let me go to the actual class instead of, going through the PHP. They can't get rid of Lance of Lethargy. That would suck. Why would they even do that? Let's see. Where is it? No! Oh, bullshit, dude. That sucks. Man, Lance of Lethargy was so cool. If I thought about it harder, I could probably understand why they did that. But I'm not going to think about it harder. I'm going to choose to stay with my head in the sand and say that this is a bad idea. Lance of Lethargy is a great support option. Once on each of your turns, when you hit a creature with your Eldritch Blast, you can reduce that creature's speed by 10 feet until the end of your turn. And yes, this could stack. And it was fucking awesome, dude. What the hell? You combine that with Repelling Blast, where you can push a creature 10 feet away? Come on, dude. Come on. You combine that with fucking Eldritch Spear. When you cast Eldritch Blast, its range is 300 feet. Come on, bro. This is horseshit. I don't agree at all, dude. This sucks. What were we talking about again? So there are a couple. Good thing you are on Twitch right now. Taking off your hoodie would have been against TOS. But yeah. Your idea would be a better improvement to True Strike. Thank you. I mean, True Strike is one of those things that I feel like people disliked so much that they really could have tried something with it and anyone would have given it a shot. Like, I feel like they could have tried something real fucking weird with True Strike, and people would have been like, well, it sucked before. Like, even if they did something super strange or like kind of out there or radical with it, it was unusable before. So it's not even like if they tried something and it's still unusable. It's not like we're losing anything, you know? So I feel like they took the coward's way out, whatever. That's fine. It depends on what you mean in this case. You said you love playing support, and you're famously a Warlock lover. I just thought that was odd since I don't think of Warlock as primarily support. I mean, I think most of my problem is that I think it's very difficult to play support in general in D&D. So let me make sure I don't leak anything, but I can show you a character that I have that I would have considered a support character. That was not a Warlock. There we go. Eudokia. I don't think there's anything crazy on here. Yeah, okay. So this is Eudokia. She's a sorcerer. She's an aberrant mind sorcerer. And she was very support oriented. So Blade Ward, Mage Hand, Message, Mind Sliver. Mind Sliver was the main thing she did in combat. Mold Earth, Prestidigitation, Shape Water. She also had actually encode thoughts because fucking D&D Beyond still has not implemented the Tasha's like Clockwork and Aberrant Mind spell list modifications. They might have. I haven't checked in a few months. But as of like a few months ago, as of 2025, they had not fucking fixed it. So I had to add a different first level spell and then rename it to Encode Thoughts. Fucking But then she had Bane, Hex, Jump, Shield, Catapult. I also was making all of her magic, what do you call it? Telekinesis oriented. So all of her spells I flavored as being some manner of telekinesis. I don't even know what's going on with that. So then Catapult, Detect Thoughts, Enlarge, Reduce. That one was tricky to justify as telekinetics, but I did it. Enlarge, Reduce is actually, this is a great support spell. Support debuff spell. But to the original question, to the original comment, it's not a cantrip. Hold Person, Misty Step, Tasha's Mind Whip. So the main tech that I had with Eudokia was Mind Sliver, Tasha's Mind Whip. I think Mind Sliver was very good. It was very good. Possibly a little too good, but that was her thing. She also had Telekinetic Shove, and then Telepathic Speech from Aberrant Mind, Metamagic Quicken Spell, Metamagic Twin Spell. This was the closest I've ever gotten to feeling like I was playing a support character. Was focusing on Mind Sliver, Tasha's Mind Whip. That was the closest I've ever got to feeling like a support character. And it felt fun. I mean, I'll tell you, it felt fun. Felt a little too fun if I'm being honest, but I wonder what it'd look like if they combined True Strike and Fairy Fell into one spell. In my mind, they're basically the same spell. In actuality, they aren't at all. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. I've always thought of Jump as basically useless, but it's probably GM specific how good it is. So the primary reason that she had Jump is because she had an 8. She had an 8 in her strength. So it's like, what is it? Jump distance 5e. What the fuck? Jump distance 5e. Jump distance, even if you get a running jump. Yeah. When you make a long jump, you cover a number of feet equal to your strength score, even if it's a running jump. So she could not clear a 10-foot gap. So it was a little, and we were playing a Monster Hunter themed campaign. So our, I've mentioned it before. I mentioned the Monster Hunter themed campaign. So our DM put a lot of effort into the fights with the monsters, and that was often in like layers. And if you've ever played Monster Hunter, you know that the environments are very often like semi-vertical. They they like go between a lot of different arenas as you progress through the fight. So movement was really important in that game, and especially small gap clearing. That was super important. So it was often like 10 to 15 foot gaps. And so jump made it to where she could clear those gaps. But I'll be even more honest with you. I think it was more important in that campaign. It wasn't that important. If I'm being really, really honest, it was not that important. But I thought it was a really fitting spell. And we had two very strong marshals. We had a psionic fighter and I think a totem barbarian. So we had two very strong fighters. And so the jumps also mattered for getting on top of creatures, which we would do often. And, you know, because that's, again, kind of part of the aesthetic of Monster Hunter. And so they could do it relatively easily without jump. But if I gave them jump, the DM basically ruled it's like, okay, you're spending a spell slot to do this, they can just jump on top for free. Like, I'm not even going to have them roll an athletics check or an acrobatics. They can just get on top of that shit. So it was useful, but we could have easily, there were better spells I could have picked. I mostly picked it for the aesthetic. Because I am not someone, hey, I'm a warlock enjoyer. I am not someone that cares if I'm doing the same thing every turn of a combat. I do not care if most of the combat is mind sliver, mind sliver, mind sliver, Tasha's mind whip, mind sliver. That's fine. That's fine with me. I love having all reliable and then having a bunch of weird niche shit that fits my theme that I can use in the niche cases where it's viable. Which is why I've never taken fucking Counterspell. Because Counterspell, I don't like, and I don't care that it's powerful. Because I don't care about choosing spells that are good. I pick like one cantrip that's good and one spell that's actually like two spells. Catapult's pretty good. I find like two spells that are going to cover me for most combats, and then I just use those. Unless a situation comes up where my more niche spells can shine. So all of those spells on the spell list, I probably chose first because they fit the theme of the character. And then I actually thought about if they were good second. But that's just, I'm not saying that's like the right or good way to play. That's just how I play. Jump is pretty good in BG3. D&D, on the other hand, how frequently do you jump in D&D? Rarely. Even in that campaign, which I would consider a good campaign for the use case of jump, I think we probably used it maybe... We probably jumped, not even me using the jump spell. Every other session, every third session, and I probably actually used the jump spell like half of those times. So I probably used the jump spell like 3 times the whole campaign. But those 3 times were really cool. Those 3 times were super cool. Oh, yeah. It's been a long time since I played on the regular, but I can't remember the last time I had to deal with a gap. Yeah, fair enough. In that specific circumstance, it sounds clutch. It was. And that's what I like in my... If I'm gonna play a spellcaster, that's the thing that I like. I like there being like an old reliable that I just do, and then I have this broad swath of options that don't come up very often, but when they do come up, they're hella clutch. That's what I like out of my spellcasters. Anywho, let's see. So where is it bringing up the megabytes sent? There we go. It's like right here. So I wonder, because I don't really care about a lot of this stuff. What? Oh my god, dude. I've been programming in auto hotkey too much. Let's just get rid of those. I would still be curious to see the exceptions. And then we're gonna see. We're also gonna get rid of that because I did have that for other things. We're gonna put that in. Okay. And we're going to try running it and seeing if it still pops up the window. No, don't show that. That's where all my ideas are. That can't be shown. Let's see. Control plus dash? Wait. What? Oh, wait, I did the wrong one. Whoops. No! How do I undo it? No, I did the wrong one. No. Shit. I need to get rid of it. Get rid of the split. Wait, can I just put it over there? Okay, cool. Let's see. Control that one. Oh, that's kind of nice. All right, sick. I did not do a lot of... VS Code is still a little bit of a foreign beast to me. Because I mostly... Even in like college, when I was doing more like solo app development, I was doing it all in Studio. And frankly, I was not looking up a lot of hotkeys. Because I did not care about my schooling that much. I was looking for whatever got the grade. So let's see if it still brings up that window. Okay. It's on like a 5-second delay. What? Oh, I have to rebuild it. Damn it, I forgot. That's a whole thing. Oh no, I'm gonna have to look up how to rebuild it. Oh, I don't even know how to do that, dude. Okay, wait. I have to... I'm gonna figure it out. Okay. Run is probably not it. Go. Shit. I'm gonna have to Google it. I'm sure Daniel will try to explain in chat, but it'll be hard to convey through chat, I'm sure. Wait, I gotta pull up chat so I can still see it. I switch languages a lot. That saves my brain from remembering what comments. Oh, that just does the language-specific comment no matter what? That's nice. That's very nice. I once used a thorns-based layer action in one shot. The player whose character was seemingly built for jumping and throwing halflings trivialized that layer action completely, which I think is a good thing. Absolutely. No, did you see my face start to grin when it's like, oh, the player that's built for jumping and throwing trivialized the thorns layer action? That's fucking awesome. That's so sick. That's the type of shit that I want to trivialize my layer actions. It's like when the build is built for something that is not overly common. I love that. How to rebuild C# project in Visual Studio Code. I don't do C# except in Unity, so I don't exactly know how to build. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, it'll probably be complicated anyways. Okay. Build and clean projects and solutions in Studio. No, this is in Studio. Well, maybe it'll say something about code. Well, actually, nope. Okay. Let's see. Debug. If you want multiple batch configurations, see batch builds, solution explorer on the menu bar, choose build. Okay, well, that's not overly helpful. Let's see. Okay, maybe it's just not in program.cs. Maybe it's in maybe it's in the proj file. Maybe we can do it in here. I know that I built it from the command line the last time I did it, but I don't remember how I did that. Run. No. Shit. Okay. So let's see. Visual Studio Code needs explicit clean and build. Try custom build your task.json. Oh, Jesus. How do I build and run my C# code in VS Code? Oh, okay, wait. .NET. Hello. Okay, .NET. Yay. Okay. Use the following link to download the winget. Oh, I feel like I already did this. Yep. Okay, wait. This is starting to look familiar. Uh-huh. Okay. New terminal. You'll see an output. Wait, what? Oh, click continue. Okay, yeah. Create your app. Done. I'm so far ahead of you. Run your app. I don't really need to run it. I don't need to edit it. Wait, what? No! Whoa, wait. Run project associated with file. You should get a similar output. But how do I build it into a C# or into an executable? That's okay. Wait, next steps. Working with files and debugging. Learn C#, .NET for beginners. God, how did I do this before? Create a project. Work with dependencies. No, there's a run a debug maybe in there. I wonder if it's like, okay, I'm gonna do a thing because I've kept my eye on ChatGPT lately, especially after like the DeepSeek announcement, and I have been occasionally using it to essentially Google things that Google is not replying to me quick enough on, because it's just I feel bad about it, you know? But it's like, and I still don't use like Midjourney or any of the image generators, but it's just like a lot of times it's a better search engine, you know? So I am going to use it. How to build my C# app into an executable. And it's still wrong relatively often, but it's easy enough to get working. CLI, publish, release, self-contained, true. Okay. So .NET publish. Is this navigate to the project folder? Okay. The output executable will be in there. Okay. Let's see. I wonder, there's no way I can just like right click and do it. But yeah, I don't know, man. Especially after I was using Midjourney for the prompts, or not for the prompts, for the thumbnails. I went like scorched earth. Oh wait. Okay, that time it didn't really do it at all. Did I just need to like give it a sec? Wait, let's try it again. Do I not need to rebuild it? No, I do. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Maybe it just failed that last time. But I went like scorched earth, was not like touching any AI at all, period. And I think part of me like naively hoped that it would either like, you know, the ethical stuff would get figured out before it like took on mass popularity. And then I just watched it take on mass popularity, and it's like everyone I know is using it for school or work or whatever. And it's like, damn, it is like way better than Google for some shit, man. It's just way better. And it's very hard to ignore something that can turn a like 2-hour searching session into like 5 minutes, you know? It's tough. It's tough. But I also, I mean, I don't want to be fucking I don't want to pretend like I don't use it. Like I do occasionally use it for things like this. So, I don't know. It's a little weird. Okay, let's try it. Let's just see what it does. All right. And I believe it should already be in that publish folder. Yes. Okay. So now, let's see if it pops open that. And I still don't know if those were what was actually causing that to pop up, or if that's just a C# thing. Like, I put those comments on there for a reason when I was testing, but I don't really need them anymore. So let's see. Let's test it now. I'm using up my quota. Okay. So it definitely... Okay, so that worked. Now, though, it is still bringing up that screen. It's just not outputting anything. So before, it would bring up the screen basically only when that. So this is while we're in progress. It's pulling this up. So I wonder... Using var file stream, file mode open, YouTube thumbnails.set. I wonder. File exists, try, right line. How? Because I don't think. Oh, man, dude, speaking of something I don't have a ton of experience with. I don't have a ton of experience with AI, and I don't have a ton of experience with asynchronous tasks that you're, like, setting up. I have a little bit, thankfully. So this wasn't total gibberish to me, but a lot of this is parsed together from various .NET tutorials. And I shit on the YouTube API a lot. It actually has some pretty good examples and tutorials, which is pretty nice. Async is fun. It is. It's just it's so complicated. It's so much more complicated than synchronous. Or not even necessarily complicated, but like hard to think about for me. Okay. I feel like this is what is opening that. I wonder, why is my C# project opening a command line window when I run it? App opens a command, MSI installer. Since then, my application opens a command prompt when I run it. How do I ditch it? Oh. Project Explorer, right-click your project, Properties, Application tab, change console application to Windows application. It is, I do have it set as a console app. I know that. What was that path they just gave? Project Explorer. Oh God, I don't think Visual Studio Code has that. But okay, wait, we've got a breadcrumb trail though. How to change my console application to a, well, do I want to? I'm afraid it'll fuck with too much stuff if I do that. How to stop my C# console app from opening command line in the foreground, honestly. Because if it opened it in the background, that'd be fine. This question is already answered here. Hello. Using a wait like you're doing basically makes the async no longer async, so you don't have to think about it differently than sync mode. I know, but it's so it's so much harder than pure synchronous. But you have to do it. I get it. It's also just big new thing, really. Yeah. I don't use AI or much of Google searches for random websites nowadays. If it isn't on the official website of the software that I'm using, I assume the information doesn't exist or isn't reliable. Hey, that is fair. It's just hard to learn stuff with that mindset. Not even necessarily, but you're limiting your scope of learning resources. It really sucks. It really sucks with AI because I think that AI is simultaneously a tool that is unprecedented in its ability to allow you to not learn anything ever. I think it is unprecedented in its ability to allow you to never learn anything new, but simultaneously, it is an unprecedented learning tool. The fact that it remembers, the fact that it remembers context, the fact that it's basically, if you want it to be, if you treat it like this, it's essentially a tutor that never gets tired and can always think of new and novel questions to ask you, new and novel ways to explain things to you. If you actually want to learn a concept, ChatGPT is an unprecedented way to do it. I asked ChatGPT the other day because I was using a regex maxer, a regex matcher. Let me see if I can actually pull it up because I think this is kind of interesting. Of a recent way that I used ChatGPT to learn, rather than just do something for me. Because that thing that I just did, that was just it doing something for me. I barely read it. I will probably not remember how to build it the next time, honestly. That was a good example of me just kind of not needing to learn it. But something on the other side of things, where is it? Yeah, it's my code for this. This is my code for that I made for making it to where making the doing the what do you call it? The word frequency match. And I looked up the best way to do essentially text analysis to filter out stop words, to filter out various things that I wanted to filter. And easily the best way was regex. And so it's you have this giant regex statement. I don't know how to use regex, dude. I know some of you will remember me getting on stream and talking about regex and how it was fucking magic a few streams ago because I was trying to do that and I couldn't figure it out. And so I asked ChatGPT, I was I pasted in that sequence of characters that essentially the internet had been this will be the way that you will want to format these regex statements. And I was all right, ChatGPT, I need you to explain this regex statement to me. So it's explain regex statements piece by piece. And it can just do it. And sometimes it's super wrong, but sometimes it gets you in the right space and you can ask it more questions to refine. Oh, it's also stuck. Let's see. Wait. Oh, message is empty. Explain this regex statement to me. And I'll just copy and paste the regex statement in there. But it's like, oh, now after ChatGPT explained it to me, because I went in wanting it to explain something to me, I can now read that regex statement. Oh, God, it's like broken. Uh-oh. Well, imagine that it did it. Because it went through and it was like, oh, like dash B is the bound of the regex. This little this bracketed area means that we are looking for capital or lowercase letters, and we are going to do that, I think, repeatedly. And then there's this like conditional that is like, okay, filter out, or it is okay if letters are then, any amount of letters are then followed by any amount of letters if they are separated by a hyphen or a apostrophe. And this is something that I tried to learn via Google, and I just couldn't. Like, I could not figure it out. The regex, the things explaining it were very confusing, especially when I could not ask them about my specific statement. Like, they would explain like other statements as examples, but I was like, okay, I don't know how that maps, that knowledge I can't map onto my current example. And ChatGPT could just like go through it piece by piece and be like, this is what this means. This is what that means. I don't know, man. And I even saw like there was kind of a meme for streamers. It was like, oh, paste this prompt into ChatGPT and take the quiz. And it was something like generate a quiz based on, or that like a geopolitics streamer should be able to answer all of the questions. And then, that was the whole kind of game, is like, oh, take that on stream and see if you can actually answer all of it. And it's like, that's a little silly and a little dumb, but also it's something that you can't just do, but ChatGPT can just do it. So it's really tough. I'm very conflicted because when I have used it, I can feel it taking cognitive load off of me. Like, I can feel the temptation. I can only imagine if I was in school right now. Oh my God. It would be so easy to just let it do everything for me. Fucking everything. But it's like, if I am... but if I actually want to learn something, it's so much easier to learn it from a fucking LLM. So it's really tough. It's like, I know that it is like actively, I don't want to say necessarily like degrading my learning skills, but it is such a vast temptation for the essentially ability to not learn. But simultaneously, when I want to learn something, it is so much better at teaching it to me if I really actually want to learn it. So it's very tough. I don't know. And I know that like at this point it's here to stay. And so I'm trying to figure out how to interact with it. Because it's really easy for something like programming. If it gives me the wrong answer, I pretty much immediately know that it's the wrong answer. It's like I try it and it doesn't work. But it's like, okay, if I'm trying to learn about history and it tells me the wrong thing, I may not immediately know if it's wrong. So then it's like I'm trying to figure out where I feel like it is actually useful when learning things or when doing things, while simultaneously trying not to let it take too much of the process of learning away from me. Because it's tempting. Ugh. Maybe because I'm not a programmer, but my main strategy is trying random commands and windows until I find what I'm looking for. That's fair. I mean, fucking that was kind of the, I mean, that's kind of a programming strategy, you know? That's part of what you learn when you learn to program. It's like just trying shit. And, you know, searching for different pages and windows and just like looking through the tool. Like, one of the things you learn as a programmer is just patience to look through a bunch of bullshit. But when something can just cut that bullshit for you, it's hard. It's hard not to use. You made me install C#. I'm doomed. No. Try Control-Shift-P. Oh. Okay. Wait. Command palette? Try Control-Shift-P. And then .NET what? .NET build. Okay, apparently I don't have the .NET install tool. Okay, press enter. Maybe I don't have it. Oh, yep. You can also go to view command palette if you don't remember the shortcut. Regexes were my first programming. They will forever be burned into my brain, but I can't understand. But I understand that's weird these days. Yeah, I just never dealt with it back in the day. Yeah. I also learn better by doing. If someone tells me something in the abstract, I can't remember it. I also do it for IRL stuff. Well, that's the really, again, it really depends on your level of desire. So it's like I can have ChatGPT explain something to me, and then I can say, okay, ChatGPT, give me a quiz on that concept that you just explained to me, or like give me a worksheet or whatever, and then I can fill it out, and then it can grade me essentially in the moment like that. So it's like even from a perspective of learning by doing, ChatGPT can give you so much learn by doing type stuff. And so that's why I say, like, I think it is unprecedented in its ability to teach things. But it's like if you had a personal tutor that, you know, maybe wasn't like, you know, a math genius, but was like, you know, the level of a college grad, like a fresh out of college grad with a degree in mathematics, you know, pretty smart and pretty knowledgeable, but not all the way there. And then you have them sit down with you and they can eternally explain math stuff to you, and they can give you quizzes and tests, and like they have that level of knowledge to kind of bounce back and forth. But also, you can just hand them the assignment and they will just do it all for you. So it's which no actual tutor would do. No actual tutor will just sit there and do your project or do your homework for you. That's not a tutor. That's an employee. So it's so, I get so torn on it because I can feel its potential, but I can feel its potential to completely disable my learning capabilities, and I can feel its potential to incredibly enhance them, you know? If I want factual information about history, I got to Wikipedia. If I want to learn to work with wood, I buy a knife and chisel and grab a block of wood and figure it out from there. I think that's incredibly, like, I think it's, you know, for things that you are just learning for your own enjoyment. Like, I 100% get. And I'm still in that camp of, like, for my own enjoyment, I still primarily learn on my own. The part where it has become a real conflict for me is that I see how much faster it could make programming for the stream. And that is like a direct relationship of the faster I can do this, the better stream will get, the better the channel will get, the better the quality will be. And I know other people are going to be using it a lot more than me. But again, I think that they are losing out on a lot. So it's this balance. It's I'm trying to suss out what the balance is. I'm way more on the side of use it as little as I can. But if I've already banged my head against the wall for an hour, I start asking ChatGPT, because there's only so much of the workday I can spend while knowing that there is a faster way, which is tough. If you had it installed since you can do it in console, but apparently not in the place VS Code expected it. Oh, interesting. I had nothing to do today, so I convinced ChatGPT that 2 + 2 is 5. It wasn't difficult. Yeah. Which is like, I think I'm very heavily convinced that I will mostly to primarily use it for things that I can check the factuality of very easily, very quickly. Like, the only times I've used it in the past month have been for coding stuff, and it's been a handful of times. And that is incredibly easy to check if it works. It's like, oh, does it do the thing or does it not? So I don't need to worry about the veracity as much, which is, I think, one of the big downfalls of using it for other things. Yeah. In theory, you could use it as a learning tool, but it's similar to having the answer guide and nobody watching you. Most people will just look up the answers and learn nothing. Exactly. Which is so frustrating. It's so frustrating because, like, if it was more constrained, like if it wouldn't just give you the answers, if it required an amount of work out of you, like I've heard people talk about like more specialized AIs and even more specialized large language models that will be for certain industries, like an AI for healthcare or an AI for this, whatever. I think maybe there's some more potential there, because I do think that, like, even though it is such a capable learning tool with ChatGPT, it's just so unconstrained that I can't imagine society on average using it more for learning and less for, I guess, cheating, for lack of a better word, for skipping the learning. I cannot envision a world where society does not go more on the using it to skip learning route. So if it's actually going to be useful for broad society as a learning tool, something has to change. I think it in its current form just cannot do it. It just can't. But maybe more specialized can, let's be honest, if it didn't just give you the answer, it wouldn't be nearly as popular. Oh, absolutely. 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 AI for healthcare sounds like a horrible idea. It is and it isn't. I mean, it kind of depends on what you're thinking of as AI. Like an AI chatbot that is trying to diagnose you, as in LLM. Yeah, I was about okay, we're on the same wave. I was like, an LLM that you're talking to help you, like, for like diagnostic purposes. Ugh. Very, very bad. But, the broad, like, advancements and moves in AI, not just like large language models, but like being able to take in a lot of data and use like machine learning, which is what large language models are built on, to process that data faster and potentially better than a doctor can with their own doctor eyes. I think there's something there. I mean, obviously, the veracity of it would need to be top priority. Like, you cannot have a healthcare AI that is confidently stating things that are wrong 10% of the time. You can't do that shit. You can't do that at all. But I see potential in things that are not hyper or that are not super general, super broad. I think I've been listening to Doug a little bit, and I think he is way too optimistic on AI. Way too boy is optimistic in general, and I am not. But I think he makes some good points about use cases and like areas where AI will be able to really improve healthcare and will be able to improve life as a whole. I just think I'm a little bit more of a doomer in like I don't know if the net benefit will be there, you know. Guess who works in healthcare is getting laid off and my job is being moved to a company that brags about AI. I can imagine. It doesn't surprise me. Well, and that's the other thing about AI is it's like it's going to, like, you hear people compare it to like cars, you know, laid off the cabbie drivers, you know. But it's, I think, to anyone who is really trying to actually consider it in good faith, they understand that this is going to destroy so many more jobs than it will create. And so, like, fundamentally, a lot of society is going to have to change, you know? People have been using Google to turn a mild cough into thinking they have cancer and are dying the next day for years anyway. They have. And I mean, I think the confidence of an AI will only make more of those types of people and will only make those types of people believe it even more, which is bad, you know? Doug honestly shouldn't be that optimistic. His AI stuff almost always fails horribly. I know, dude. He just has that optimistic bone in his body, dude. I don't know what it is. But I am just so, like, I think he makes good points, good analysis, good arguments, but his conclusions are so optimistic compared to mine, even with his points. So is this the place to vent about what happened last stream? I mean, that can be part of it. That can be part of it. This is, hopefully I'll be doing more of these streams just to allow for more free-form discussion, you know, discussion that doesn't need to be themed as much around Critical Role. Because I love Critical Eyes, but having non-Critical Role discussion during it can, elongate the time quite a bit. Let's see. I was already trying to go to the command palette. Oh no, I've lost the train of thought. Where was Daniel? Control-Shift-P to open the command palette. Shoopadoo. And then build. Well, it's still not there, but let's just run build task. Let's see. I trust. No build task found. Configure build task. Create a JSON file from template. Sure. I believe it. .NET Core. I believe it. Cool. Look, I'm willing to trust Visual Studio Code on this. I'm willing to trust it. Do I need to save that? Or does it just create? I think it just creates. Let's see. Control-Shift-P. Build. Well, actually, wait. Was there .NET build? Wait. Control-Shift-P. No. Control-Shift-P. .NET. Let's see. No! The thing that I'm trying to stop just happened. How dare it? How dare it? .NET. No. .NET. Let's see. Add new project. Install SDK. Open. Remove. Interesting. Well, let's just try task run build task. Build. Okay, it's building. Interesting. Okay, so I might still need to use the command line version, but I guess we'll just keep using that for now, and we'll try to figure out why it's doing it. Have a nice stream. I'm gonna go play On Guard. Have fun. It's a swashbuckling game. That sounds cool. That sounds very fun. Mine has it. Not sure what the diff is. Might have to restart VS Code. Maybe. I mean, this seems to work for the build, so I'm not too worried about it. I just need to figure out how to stop it from doing it while change the output type to a Windows application. Right. And I was possibly app opens a command in the background. Okay, wait. So C#, how to run a console application project without it bringing up the console. Okay, wait. How to run a .NET. There we go. Oh, it does that. Just want that. It works like a charm. I've used this setup for some projects. Create a project as a Windows application. Okay. All right. So it does just want it to be a Windows app. So it you can use the Windows API to minimize the console box. Oh, wait, what? How do I do that? Okay, whatever. Short answer, drunk. Long answer, I took the song Whiskey, Tequila a little too literally. Turns out the three don't mix. I don't condone irresponsible drinking. Hey, man, you mix alcohol, I have experience. It's all good. Hey, and that's why, that's why I timed you out. You weren't doing anything that bad. You were just being a little much. I wasn't gonna ban you. It's just, you needed a break. I get it. It happens. Personally, I've never used AEI and probably never will, but I'm also a weirdo who wants to convert 90% of car traffic to public transport, so take that as you will. I mean, that's not... I don't know that I would conflate those two. I would also love to do that. I would also love to do that because there's very... that's just like a policy thing. Yeah. A lot of towns in Italy have banned cars in downtown or historic areas. There are places where they allowed cars to come back, but the foot traffic is so heavy that the cars literally can't pass. Yeah. I mean, I would really love it. One of the things that I hate about Chicago, which this isn't like, there's nothing to kind of be done about it now, but in the past, Chicago sold basically like parking metering rights. It's more complicated. I'm summarizing it a lot, but they like sold parking metering rights to this group of private companies, which honestly could have been kind of okay, but in the the Chicago government got fucking rinsed, dude. It's like the worst deal that has ever been signed by a by a city government. And like one of the clauses was essentially, if the city of Chicago makes modifications to the road that result in a drop of revenue, because again, it's all about like parking metering rights, that results in a drop in revenue, the city then has to pay that gap, that deficit. So even if even if Chicago wanted to turn areas into pedestrian only, which they do, there are several areas in Chicago that the city has wanted to turn into pedestrian only. There has been wide public support, but they can't justify it because it would add basically a new like fee every single month, because all of that parking would get taken out and they would have to pay these companies the difference while not getting any revenue from people. So it would just add this new fee that the government has to pay every month. It's insane. It's ludicrous. It was one of the most short-term thinking contracts I've ever seen in the history of everything I've ever looked at. It's crazy, dude. It's insane. It's crazy. So that sucks about Chicago. But there's a lot of other great things about it. There's a lot of other great things about it. There's a video on YouTube about that from a maths channel, I think. I bet. I mean, it's really, really good. Boy, Wednesday SS2 trailer came out, and I will never stop saying that Morticia Adams is fine. What is SS2? SS2? I mean, Morticia Adams. Sims Settlements 2? I don't know what SS2 is. Season, buddy? Oh! Wednesday Season 2. I wasn't thinking of it as the name for a for a series. I was thinking about it like it came out on Wednesday. This is all tracking much more tightly. So my mayor. Hey, at least you get it. You get it. What, you mean that privatizing government functions leads to bad outcomes? Dude, even if they had privatized it, even if they had, they could have done it in a less dumbass way. They could have done it in a way, and it's also like a 40-year contract. It's some stupid ass length. And it's like, even if you're gonna do that, you have to not be a fucking chuckle fuck about it. You gotta not be a huge dumbass idiot that lets the companies rinse you, dude. Cause of course they're gonna. Why wouldn't they? You're just offering them free money in perpetuity with no risk? Why not? I'd do it if I I probably wouldn't, but I get why people did do it. I don't really blame them, frankly. Well, I kind of blame them, but I don't blame them that much. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like I gotta make it a Windows app. It seems unlikely that I will be able to do this not with a Windows app. Although, I wonder. It says you can use the Windows API to minimize the console box. Command to minimize console box. Fuck. No, we're back here. Shit. Okay. Minimize console box, C#.net. Minimize console app at startup. Yes. Not hide permanently the console box when I run the app. Is that possible? Yes. Yes. This person is speaking my language. All right, let's see. The following code should do the trick. Use Win32 to minimize the console. Oh, shit. Okay. So I have to... Ooh. Okay, this looks a little intimidating. Interpret... I should just make it a Windows app. Motherfucker. I shouldn't do all this weird, hacky bullshit. Turn a console app into a Windows. Yep. Into a Windows app. Let's see. Oh, wait. I gotta put chat back up. I keep forgetting to put chat back where I can see it. If you do it for a short time frame, the next administration will just not renew the contract. Even if the time frame, forget the time frame. It's like the really like core core issue with it is the fact that it restricts future development. Like, I wouldn't have even done it in the first place. But if I am coming up with an argument for it, I can see an argument for giving over some of that functioning to private industry. But writing that in such a way to where you cannot ever change the layout of streets, which are publicly operated. Like, the government still has to run the streets. They still have to pave them and asphalt them and all that bullshit. And so it's like, if there's a street that is not getting used, like it is more maintenance than it's worth, they still can't remove it because they would have to then pay this difference. So it's just worth it to keep the bad streets up. You know? It's like, that's the ultra ludicrous part of it to me. You know? Italian pedestrian will scream insults at motorists if they don't obey laws or etiquette. That's nice. that is fucking crazy. I have never, and it's, you know, probably half because I'm American, but I do not understand pedestrian confidence. Like, we have a friend who's from California, and I don't know if it's just a her thing, if it's a Californian thing, but she will jaywalk with the most confidence I have ever seen. I'll jaywalk. Hey, you know, if there's a big gap in traffic, maybe I don't want to walk all the way down the street. Whatever. I'll jaywalk. But she will, like, jaywalk in the tiniest gap and, like, expects cars to slow down. And I'm like, you're going to get hit? Dude, what are you doing? You don't survive. You don't win that encounter, bro. Same thing with, like, bicyclist confidence. I bike in around Chicago on the street. I don't bike on the sidewalk. I bike on the street. I'm fine with it. But I do not understand bikes that will, like, or scooters that will, like, blow through stop signs like cars are just gonna stop for them. Bro, you turn into meat paste. They get a dent. You don't win that interaction. I'm very pro, like, prioritize pedestrian rights and safety on roads. Like, I think we should construct roads in a very pedestrian first attitude. But man, oh man, I do not get the confidence. It's crazy. I feel like if I start legit sharing hood shenanigans, South Tel Aviv hoods go hard, no rep. Some people would start having aneurysms. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I can't say that I know too much about the inner workings of, like, especially, like, individual cities in Israel. I had a friend who used to live across the hall from us. A neighbor. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. They were a neighbor that lived in Israel for a while. And he would tell me some stories, but he wasn't a native. Like, he grew up in Chicago. He only lived in Israel for 2 years. So I don't think he had, like, the full perspective on it. But I can imagine. I mean, honestly, generally, most stories from lower class, lower income areas are probably not super fun. Yeah, I can imagine. It needs to be so long and hard to break that it's worth it. I know. I have pedestrian confidence. Cars park on the crosswalks and I walk into their car, then feign confusion. Oh my god, dude. That's very funny. Bro, I could not imagine doing it myself. I just don't have that confidence. All right, let's see. Just add a new win form. Add the following code to your main. Oh, wait, win forms. WFP? No. That's not what I want. Into a Windows form? I mean, I don't want it to be a form. What were they saying to do? Okay. Windows application. Do a Windows application. Okay, maybe it's in here. Let's see. No, it's not in here. What? I don't want it to be a win form. Switching from console app to WinForm, C++, console app to a class library project. Okay, where? Okay, output. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe it's as easy as they say. There's nothing else that needs to be done. I don't know that I believe it. Project. Okay, project. Properties. I'm already lost. This seems like something that they're doing in fucking Visual Studio. You know what I'm saying? No console window. Edit the project file and change output type to WinExe. Okay. Output type. Okay. Output type. WinExe. Save. This is a great answer. Project. Where would project be? Oh, no. Because this seems like perfect solution. I have already created my console project. I just had to change the property. Just had to change the property. I mean, is this it? Do I just do this and it just works? I feel like there's very little shot of that. But we're going to see. Let's see. Okay, so now if I run the thumbnail updater, automatic auto ads, test trigger, run ads. Oh, wait. Whoops. That's not the right. That's not the right code. Test. Okay, so that pops up. That I'm fine with. And then okay, nothing popped up. Did the thumbnail update? Holy shit, it did. Oh my god, that's it? Okay, I was definitely trying to go the more hacky solution because I thought there was no way it would be that simple. Holy, okay. Okay, well, that's pretty much fucking worked. I'm going to play a little bit of the Bazaar. I'm going to be fucking Hank Green in this shit. I'm going to I'm going to finish doing the point of the video and then I'm going to play connections, except for my connections is the Bazaar. Let's see. Settings. I also want to not do windowed mode. Perfect. All right. If you haven't played the Bazaar, it is an auto battler. So think if you've ever played like auto chess or I'm looking this up on Steam. Super Auto Pets. Super Auto Pets is a good auto battler example. But the Bazaar is, I would say, more complicated than Super Auto Pets. It is more like it has more kind of going on with it, and it has a few things that I think make it pretty unique. But you'll kind of see it as we go. You make an amount of income every turn, and then that's the amount of gold you have. You spend gold to buy items or do things, and then you battle against other people with your items. I'm going to start with a enchanted item. I get to pick. So, oh, these are weird examples. These are both ammo items, so they can only be used a certain number of times. So like this guy can only be used 3 times before he's done for the entire rest of the battle. This fiery revolver can only be used 6 times, but when you crit, you reload it for 2. So if you're critting a lot and it has a 20% crit chance, then you're reloading. So it's a little bit deceptive in how much it has. And then these are also all enchanted. So normally, like pop snappers do, like, they burn 4. You can see that, like, top text. But then these are enchanted with heavy. And so they're heavy pop snappers, which means that it also, on top of the burn every 4 seconds, it does slow one item 1 second. Oh my God, I have the hiccups. This is your aquatic items, gain 4%, haste 1 item. When you buy this, get a piranha. I don't really love any of these, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. But I might be able to transform this guy into something else, and I don't mind fiery as an enchantment. So then each hour, you get a new thing that you can do, whether it's like an option between 3 things, or on the top of the hour, you fight another person. And when you fight another person, you can lose, it's prestige, they call it, but you essentially lose health. And you lose health equal to the day that it is. So the further you get into the game, the more health you lose each day. And I'm going to go really simple. I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to gain 1 income. I'm going to be very... God, this is weird. I don't do a lot of, like, this sort of gaming content. You know, it's almost always, like, very story-based. So I feel very strange doing this sort of thing. I feel very, like, Northern Lion coded. Which, hey, worst things to be. I'll up the damage, or I'll up the sound a little bit. So you guys can hear the sweet, dulcet tones of the Bazaar. And so the actual battles are totally automatic. Things just do what they do. You don't have to, like, manually command anything. Well, not only do you not have to, you can't. And then whoever hits 0 first loses. And if the round is taking too long, it'll introduce the sandstorm, which you just saw there, and it'll just tick down both people's health bars equally until someone wins. And so my burn items have +1 burn. Love that. Love that for me right now. We'll go to Andy. He's selling some shit. Not the best we could have gotten, but we'll just go a little bit more into burn. Not the best. Wow, I don't really like any of this. And this is not going to get me very far. But we might just accept that we die on the first person that we fight. We might just have to accept it. That might just be how it is. Because I'm not getting things that I love out of this. Now, the powder flask. That reloads an item to the right of this for 1 ammo. That could be interesting. Because now we have the mantis shrimp, which is, well, it doesn't have a crit chance, so it can't crit. But in theory, this can kind of handle itself for a little while. But the mantis shrimp can't. But if I refill it, then it could. Let's see. Anything else? Ooh. This is when you gain haste, you gain 2 poison. I love a good catfish when I already have a burning thing. Because one of the best items with catfish benefits from burning. I'll upgrade Honing Steel. Why not? Why not? I'm not being too stingy. But yeah, and you can see that they all have a size, but in that last shop, there was something that took up like 3 spaces. So that is something that's pretty interesting and unique about the Bazaar, in that items can take up different amounts of space in your board. So you know, all of these, I have 4 1-space items, but then there's also 2 and 3-space items. So when you do a 3-space item, you're giving up 3 1-space items, because I can only go to the borders of my mat. Now, as I level up, my mat gets bigger, but it has a maximum size. It has a maximum size out to the edge of the board right there.
We're out to dethrone a king, not
So if you're into auto battlers, it's very cool. I broadly recommend it. It has some issues, but I think it's a very, very fun auto battler compared to the broad market that's available otherwise. I don't think there's a high chance of me winning this, but it's theoretically possible.
like my crew.
Ooh, the crit!
Another round.
The crit! The crit just doubles whatever aggressive effect you were going to do. So it doubled my my 8 damage that I deal and the burn. Which at that point, because of the honing steel, I had like 50 damage, so it doubled it to 100, and we win. And we win. It's just that easy for me. I'm just built like that. Regen. Oh, I'm like 1 level away. Nah. Small and medium items. Ooh, but I also don't really want to go around buying stuff. I don't have that much gold. But I also hate Tiny Furry Monster. I hate Tiny Furry Monster. I think I'll go with Tiny Furry Monster. Oh, I do have a friend. I forgot. So this is, normally it's just these 2 options, but I do have a friend so I can gain an XP. I will take that.
Full sail, my boy.
Full sail, my boy.
One perspective.
Okay, what do I want? When you buy a weapon, permanently gain 20 health. Leftmost shield item gains 20 health. Poison has 2 poison. These are all fine. I like poison. I like poison, so I'll take that.
9 years.
Small non-weapon item. That could be good. Medium item. Strange mushroom. Guaranteeing that it's a non-weapon could be nice. I think I'm going to go with that. And it's guaranteed that it'll fit. That is not really what I wanted, but I guess we're going an ammo build. I didn't really think that we were going to be, but we are, apparently. Okay, so these are all computers. They're not they're CPUs. They're not other players, because this is the bottom of the hour down here, and then the top of the hour is where we fight a person. So I've heard that the warrior is a little tough right now, and I also am not even like full on all I have an open space on my mat, so I'm gonna try the covetous thief. And ones that are further to the right are harder, but they also give more rewards. So the covetous thief is less hard. Burn and poison both deal damage over time, but burn degrades every time it ticks, whereas poison does not. But it's easier to get a lot of burn on someone than poison. Watch the skies. Let's see. Ooh, okay. I don't mind that at all. Hey, a little bit of extra gold in my pocket. I'm not hating on that. Oh my god, I don't even know what just happened. Let's see. Small items, maybe. Jungle ruins, maybe. I go jungle ruins. Because I am Vanessa, so I can gain a small silver tier item. So I'm going to do that, because I like silver. That's tough. I mean, it's not terrible to be a little bit ahead in health, but, you know, it's not great either. Small and large buys medium at +2. I don't have any mediums, but I need to get another thing for this slot. I need to. Oh, it really wants me to have the cove. I mean, I could do the cove. I don't love it. I mean, I see an ammo build. I see crit chance build, which Shoeblade would be nice for crit chance. I'm gonna do Shoeblade for now. Cove has been doing me wrong recently. Ooh, it's a Zorkid! It's a Zorkid. 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 Zorkid's one of my favorite things in the Bazaar period. Haste adjacent items for 1 second, so he will haste both of these. And when you burn, charge this by 1 second. That means that it just instantly fills 1 second. And Catfish is when you gain haste, this gains +2 poison. So they kind of feed off each other. And then if he's also hasting the Fiery Revolver, then you can kind of see where I'm going with this. And these two are both burning. So it's not only adjacent items that charge him. It's anything that burns on the board will charge him. So it looks to me like maybe we're more fire oriented. Less although the honing steel is not really great right now because I can't really put it to the right. I can't put it to the right of this because I need that powder flask to be to the I can't put it to the left of Mantis Shrimp so that Mantis Shrimp would be on the right because I need the powder flask there. And then I can't put it to the left of this because I want the Zorkid there. Although, actually, wait. I see what I should do. I should do this because the Zorkid will haste the honing steel, which upgrades the amount of damage it does. And this thing's burn equals 10% of its damage. And it can theoretically reload itself. So I think this is a little bit more of what we should be doing. Oh, Yeti Crab is always tempting, but I want to leave a little bit of gold in the pocket. All right, let's see, late. Let's see what you got. Okay. What in the hell is that? Whoa, that's a cool item. I've never seen that before. All right. Oh, and you have this. So this is upping its damage the whole time. This is kind of interesting. I mean, I think I win, but it's definitely interesting. All right. Interesting item. Good to see. Okay. Boop, boop. All right. That's 2 gold for each friend I have. 6 isn't bad. Or I get a bronze tier item. I think I got to go with 6 gold. Like, I could buy... Unless that bronze tier item was like a large item. Then that might have been a little bit of a trade down. But medium items? I love medium items. Other aquatic or ammo? Interesting. And if I really wanted to, I could put the powder flask on it so that it reloads. But it's on an 8-second cooldown, so I don't even think it's going to be reloading all that much. But that seems... I'm kind of just down with that shit. Yeah. And then we'll just... Well, I'm good to just roll with that. I don't even think I need to re-roll and see your second screen. The only question is, do I want to buy the fishing rod? Because it gives me a small aquatic item at the start of each day. It's a nice and early time to get it. I think it's probably worth it. I think it's an investment. I'm investing in myself. Shoeblade, you're probably getting pitched. But I'm going to keep you around for now, in case we hit a shop where it's more valuable to sell you. You know, a health and a shield item wouldn't be bad. But I'm kind of liking where we're at for now. So I just got some spare change. And I don't need gold yet. So again, we're going to save them. I'm feeling kind of confident, honestly. I think I'm going to go eccentric etherite. I'm feeling a little confident. Mega, what's your favorite weird sea creature, as in real life organism? There are quite a few, aren't there? My gut reaction to that is a vampire squid. That is like historically my favorite weird sea creature.
The bazaar will go dark without
But I feel like I have learned about other weirder sea creatures since the vampire squid. If you haven't seen the vampire squid, I'll show it to you while I think. This is the vampire squid. They're kind of sick. They're one of those organisms that we didn't find until we went way, way deep down into the depths. And they're cool. They're very, very cool. Ooh. But let's think. There's definitely a better answer than the vampire squid. Weird sea creature. I guess if I'm going extinct, the H is pretty cool. If we're going extinct sea creatures, H sea creature. I have no idea what it's actually called. I only know of it as the H creature. Oh, where is it? It's H and Y. Extinct sea creatures. No? Oh, come on. Give it to me. What are they called? Okay, wait. I remember the video that I saw where I learned about this. So let me, if I can find that video, then I could find this. It was on Extinct Zoo. Yeah. Okay.
To become fossilized.
Wait, where is it? Yeah. Animals only explainable by the alphabet. So these are Escumacia and Etacystis. And we theorize they are called the H and Y animals, and we theorize that they look like this. And they're super cool. So that's my answer for extinct. My go-to is cookie cutter shark. Cookie cutter shark. Ooh, wait a minute. Look at those guys. Oh, man. That's crazy. Oh, there's another weird sea creature that I do know that is not extinct that I only know of from a Hank Green video, so it's kind of cheating. But there's a worm that, like, fucking spontaneously combusts itself. It's not actually combustion, but it just will spontaneously dissolve into essentially semen in order to, like, fertilize other worms. It's crazy. Go, if you want to see it, just look up, like, Hank Green worm sex. That's a good one. But I'm trying to think of one that I think is weird that isn't like that. And octopi are weird. Starfish are weird. Snails are strange. Well, that's not a sea creature. Snails also aren't a sea creature. I'm getting lost in the sauce. Fucking like king crabs that have those big spindly legs, or the Japanese spider crabs. Those are weird. I think that I've listed out a lot of animals. I think I've cheated, but Dunkleosteus for an extinct one. The Kutki. Ooh, okay. That's not that bad. I will still need to fix it at some point, but that's easier to fix. The cookie cutter shark was first discovered by its bite marks on Cold War submarines. That's so badass, dude. That's so that's so fucking sick. I love it. It's just a submarine coming into its domain and it's saying, no, no, no. No, no, no. I'm the shark around here. You may be long and tubular and kind of honestly look a little bit like me. Dude, maybe that's why it bit. Because that shit just looked like a gray tube. Cookie cutter shark. Wait, I'm opening it back up. Because this shit kind of looks like a tube of the shit they would feed you in a dystopia. You know what I'm saying? This kind of looks like a submarine. Do you think that they thought? Do you think they looked at a submarine and they were like, invader into my homeland. Get the fuck out of here.
Is it because I talk too slow?
Ah! God damn it. My least favorite part about the Bazaar is that when you click back into it, it counts the click. So if you tap anywhere in the top right and you're like in a store already, it's like, oh, you wanted to leave the store? Blip. And it'll do it on reward screens. So it'll be like, oh, here's all these rewards. Oh, you clicked next. Guess you didn't want them. Bye. Ah. Least favorite part about the Bazaar. Fuck you. God. Anyways, the cookie cutter shark. Kind of looks like a submarine. I'm already crashing out. I really am Northern Lion. Get a small weapon. For a while, both the USA and USSR thought it was some kind of sabotage until a dead one washed up. It's a parasite that eats small bites of whales and bigger sharks. That's crazy. It just rolls up and takes a nibble and then shoots away. Bro, that's my kind of shit. If I was a deep sea carnivore, that's my kind of shit. I'm not trying to get in a big, long, extended fight. That's for chumps, dude. I don't want to get into this long, drawn out thing where you have the chance to like mortally injure me. Same shit with Raishawn, dude. It all comes back. I'm a cookie cutter shark at heart. I'm not a hammerhead. I'm not a great white. I'm not trying. Because it only takes one mistake. It takes one off day. I have too many off days to risk on that sort of shit. But if my entire strat is run up, take a bite, and then get away, you know, I miss the bite. Oh no, I try again later. I still get away. Oh yeah, that's I'm way more on that wave than than like a great white. You will not catch me doing that sort of shit. Upgraded bonds. And we're gonna upgrade the Zorkid. Because the Zorkid's my friend, and I like him. All right, Neb452. Show me what you got. Also, in that last fight, we did last long enough for the torpedo to want to get reloaded. Although, I kind of feel like if they are playing it slow, then it's like it's bet. Although, actually, wait. How long is the regen on the Mantis Shrimp? Oh, wait. Dude, the Mantis Shrimp has 2 ammo. It'll take 18 seconds for it to get rid of all of its ammo. The torpedo, it takes 8 seconds. I should definitely have the powder flask on the torpedo. I should absolutely have it on there. It wouldn't have mattered this fight, but it could matter in a future fight. What happened? What happened there? I wasn't paying a lot of attention. We just got burned really fast, I think. These did fuck all. That makes sense. I didn't really expect them to do much. Honestly, I could have. It might have been wise, and it may be wise in the future, to replace these two with the fishing rod, because the fishing rod hastes an aquatic item. And I could just haste the catfish even more. Because it did 21 poison. It did 60 damage, 36, 20, 190. Yeah. Even I could use the Zorkid to haste the torpedo instead of doing that honing steel bullshit. I mean, I think the honing steel is doing really well for the fiery revolver. But I could just haste the torpedo. Although, then I can't powder flask the torpedo, unless I put it on the other side, which I could. Okay, we're going to see. We're going to see. That's why it's called the cookie cutter, because it takes around cookie-shaped bites out of its victims. That's my kind of shark. I appreciate the share. I appreciate looking out. Because that's my kind of shark, dude. Okay, wait. No, can't do that. Could do that. Can't do that. Never mind. Can't do that. Oh, what did the fishing rod get us? Seashell? Shield 10 for each aquatic you have? I mean, frankly, then at least these go together. And these two did the exact same amount of damage last fight. So, having a shield item with it, not bad. Not bad. Put the calico over there. Let's see. Medium items, get an item, chocolate. I kind of just want to get an item. I kind of just want to play the roulette a little bit. Pet rock? If this is your only friend? No way, I got too many friends. I got too many friends, dude. You seen the catfish? You seen the Zorkid? No way. No way on the pet rock. Zoop. Okay, I could upgrade a bronze item. I could buy non-weapon items. Or I could get a tool. I like a tool. I like a tool right now. What's up? Your leftmost weapon gains 15 damage? Okay. I mean, honestly, I kind of want to save that. I'm considering, like, transforming that and trying to shift this into a pure aquatic build. Because this benefits from aquatic or ammo. And the only other ammos I have are these. The Mantis Shrimp takes so long to fire that it's kind of like I don't really need to worry about its ammo too much. But I do have to worry about this guy's ammo. I have to worry about critting. I have to worry about, this honing steel. It's like I kind of rather not have to worry about that. So maybe if I see a transform, maybe I transform that. And so because I might transform that, I don't want to sell the magnifying glass and up its damage. Don't want to do that. We're going to go after Hellbilly.
You came to the wrong outland, stranger.
You came to the wrong outland, stranger. Let's see. But I feel like this is going to be better. The hasting the torpedo. I feel like good haste on the torpedo is gonna get us some damage. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. Okay. Okay. I mean, these guys are doing the majority. This guy's getting a lot of his damage from ammo items, firing, and that sort of shit. This got me a decent amount of shield, too. So I need to see if I can just convert that, ideally, into an aquatic item. But may not be doable. Okay, what do we have too much bullshit. We're going to sell those. I'm waiting to see if we run into a shop that's like buys small items. I should have just looked at it. I should have just looked at it, dude. Fuck. Well.
Small things remind me of seeds.
Damn it. I gave up like 3 gold there. I gave up 3 gold there. That's not good. Haste your other items when you use a friend. Charge this 3. Ooh, yeah. There's some stuff there. Sniper rifle if it's your only weapon. No. I like torpedo. Electric Eels is a friend, and when your enemy uses an item, charge 1. Now, Electric Eels is really good if they are very fast and might run over us because they slow a lot and they trigger a lot if the enemy's build is really fast. And that's good. That's good for our torpedo. Tortuga, on the other hand, makes us faster. And it hastes other items, which means that they're triggering faster, which might help buff this guy's damage faster. So it feels like an even better long build or mitigation for short build or for against quick builds. Could I do both? Could I do both? Okay, I like Tortuga. I'm just going to buy Tortuga, and we're going to fit him into our build, and we're going to see how that goes. So we want to prioritize friends, which means Revolver and that are out. These guys, he's in. Okay. The Powder Flask is needed, unfortunately, even though it's not a friend. The Mantis Shrimp is a friend. Now, we want to prioritize aquatic items that are also pretty fast. That's not aquatic. That's aquatic. It's 6 seconds. None of those are aquatic. Okay. Seashell for a little bit of shielding while we power everything up. That could work. This could work. I'd love to get something. Oh no, wait. This works even better than I thought. Because the torpedo, whenever you use another aquatic or ammo item, this gains 30 damage. If the item is large, reload. So this is going to reload anytime that Tortuga fires. Because Tortuga is large and aquatic. So we can get rid of the Powder Flask. Now comes the question. Could I put in the Electric Eels? If I wanted to put in the Electric Eels, that would be getting rid of both of these. Because I'm going to keep the catfish. Certainly going to keep the catfish, especially now that we have Tortuga. Is that worth it? I think it is. I can keep these two around in my inventory, but I think that's worth it. So I'm going to sell... Let's see. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be transforming the Zorkid anytime soon, so we'll go ahead and throw 15 extra damage on him. Why not? I think we're getting pretty out of the reload game, so I'll sell that. And we're going to go with Electric Eels. And then this. So now we've got these two in our back pocket. We want to transform that eventually, and this is good if we ever get a healing item. So I'm going to sell the Honing Steel. And maybe I'll leave the barbed wire around. Nah, we can't hold on to that too long. Especially now while it's extra valuable in here, you know? Oh, I just realized I should probably set my live streaming details, my game, to the Bazaar. The Bazaar, you know? And honestly, now I can just change it to the Bazaar, honestly. Game title. Bazaar. Oh, wait. Okay, do I have to do the Bazaar? Okay. Doesn't really have it. I mean, it just has Bazaar. So I guess that's what I'll do? I don't think that's referring to the same game, but fuck it, why not? Alright. And my thumbnail is auto-updating, baby. You can see that I'm playing the Bazaar from the homepage. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Perfect. Aw, shit's working, hell yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'm good with this. I want to save my money. I think this was a big upgrade to what we were doing, and I want to save my money in case there's like an enchant option or something. The first time you fall below half, slow. When you use your leftmost item, burn 2. Ooh. I think I do that because that would pump the Zorkid, and then I put like that over there. So I think that's going to be one of my faster items, but we'll have to see. Transform! That's exactly what I wanted. Okay, we're going to transform the fiery revolver into hopefully an aquatic friend. That's what we're looking for, an aquatic friend. I'm manifesting it. Bazaar is such a fun word to say. It is. It's pretty good. Bazaar is good. I just got a Python app that can connect to the YouTube API. Let's go. Hell yeah. Let's go, Daniel. You're making it happen. Transform your leftmost small item. Boop. Come on, aquatic. Fiery pop snappers. This has double burn. Okay, that's fine. I mean, we'll keep him around. We'll keep him around. We'll keep transforming him. We'll keep testing. We'll try to find it. Because that transforming into, like, a fiery catfish, incredible. Incredible. A fiery puffer fish, dude? Insanity. That'd be crazy. So, we're hoping for that. Okay. And again, our protection against slow builds is the poison. Because the poison goes underneath their shields. However, regen is the counter to that, and they are regenning quite a bit. But this also scales up in damage. So their regen's too busy dealing with all of our poison. It can't keep up with the damage. And then we just win. And then we're just going to win here in a second. That's the thing about us. Okay, the storm's coming. I don't love the storm in this matchup. Oh, you're joking. Really? Damn, he was too good. He was too protected. That's a wild amount of healing. I mean, I can't blame my torpedo, man. I can't blame it. And it does look like putting the electric eels on the left is the correct answer for hotspot. They activated 20 times. Oh, and they were slowing our shit a lot. That's 20 seconds of slow. It slowed us down just enough to last out the timer. That's a GG. I don't think there was anything wrong with the build. That was just a GG. We just win. All right. Well, okay. I did maybe say that shit. Ooh, do we transform and roll the dice? Ooh, we got Clamora. Don't want it. Hate it. Hate you. Do we roll the dice again, trying to transform these pop snappers into something usable? Or do I just look for a shield item in here? The thing about it is, right? The thing about it is, what would I get rid of? Do I get rid of the catfish and just don't even worry about poison or anything like that? Poison didn't seem to be the main thing holding it down for me. Like, it was, it was impactful, but it wasn't the main thing. Do I just go, like, all weapons all day? Or do I get a shield item myself to protect myself? Because right now I'm just all offense. Let's at least take a look. Let's see if there are any aquatic friends. Oh! That's the luckiest thing we could have gotten. Oh. Okay, so this is an enchanted electric eel, which I can just upgrade straight on. When your enemy uses an item, charge it for 2 seconds, because it's an upgrade, and it shields equal to the damage, dude. That would have triggered like 20 times last game. That would have given us so much shield. Oh, and I also have Mr. Richardson, which is also a scaling shield. Ooh. Okay, no more Clamora. No more Seashell. We're not going either of those directions. Now, it's either Mr. Richardson, who is a friend, but he's not aquatic, is the thing. So he doesn't scale the torpedo, but he does count for Tortuga, which scales the torpedo. But this counts for both, and it's poisoning, and we just got shields. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. That's all I gotta do. I think now, holy shit, now we just win. Get a small friend? Let's try. Ooh, the Illusory. That is a question. That is a question. Because if I swap out the Catfish for the Illusory, it has multicast 3. So at every 8 seconds, it's doing its thing, but it's doing it 3 times. Because it's adjacent to friends. It's adjacent to the Zorkid and the Tortuga. So adjacent to 2 friends. And that could mess with some builds. That could mess with some builds. Get just disrupted just enough. We're going to try around without the Catfish. Because this is aquatic, and it's a friend. And you know what? This is triggering 3 times every 8 seconds. This is only triggering once every 5. So this is triggering much more often for both Tortuga and the Torpedo. It does prevent, it makes it less likely the electric eels are going to trigger as often, but I think that's okay. I think this could be something, dude. Harkuvian Rocket Trooper. Scoville. Now, he looks dangerous. However, if I do the Rocket Trooper, that's only 2 experience. I need 4 to get to the next level. I would still get to the next level. I would get to the next level regardless by the next time I fight a person, which is the main important part. So what does he do? He burns. He's probably very burny. I'm pretty sure this guy has like hasting stuff and reload stuff, which I don't really care about. And I have no idea what this Sabretooth has, but I'm scared of Scoville, dude. You know what? I remember Scoville being very fast, and my main worry about what we got going on is its defense against speed. So let's go Scoville. We're gonna test it, because if I lose to an AI, I don't lose health. So it's a good like kind of test bed for these sorts of things. Oh yeah, because all these have multicast. That's why I remember him being fast. Okay, we're getting some shield. Getting a good amount of shield. We barely lost health. Ooh. Okay. That could work. A cinder? Cool. Whatever. I don't have anything that burns. Except for these stupid fiery poppers. Actually, we'll keep that around in case I do eventually transform the poppers. Silver tier weapon? These are all silver tier. Well, these 3 are weapons. Silver tier weapon might not be bad. Silver tier item or silver tier loot. Silver tier loot also wouldn't be bad. And a little bit of extra money. I think we go into that. I'm not feeling risky bisky. Leftmost item gains 6 shield. Hell yeah. We'll throw that on. The electric eel's just a little bit better. Love it. Small non-weapon. Fighted monster. Get silver tier items. I think I just want more XP. I think I'm just XP farming right now. I like my build.
Which dueling academy did you attend, huh?
Which dueling academy did you attend, huh? All right, bud. Calm down. There we go.
But I followed the 10 principles of dueling.
I'm feeling good. It's a little slow. But theirs was kind of slow. So it seems like ours kind of matches the pace of what it's against, which I don't mind. I don't mind that at all. Get an item, medium items, work the docks. We only have 1 medium item, and I'm not really looking to swap any of these out. I'm really just looking to upgrade them at this point. So we're going to work at the docks because that gives you a little bit of gold. Shield item, tool, weapon. Let's see a weapon. What is that? Freeze 2 items. When you freeze, this gains 30 damage. I mean, it's interesting, but it's not overly conducive to our build. So we're just going to go in. We're going to see. I don't know if we win here because we didn't actually make that much change or progress that day, except for the very first day where we made this into a shield. They also have Tortuga. They actually have a very similar build than us, with the big exception of no torpedo. So I don't know how they scale exactly. Not as well as us. That's the answer. They don't scale as well as us. He says while he was definitely like one shot. While he was very one-shottable. Ooh, boy. And look at that nice even spread on the damage. I'm feeling good about this. Illusory, I don't know about. I don't know about Illusory. It's good. I just don't know that it's that good. I'd rather have something that's faster and is like ticking these more often, you know? I'm also not sure if hasting the torpedo is the correct move. I actually think I might want to haste Tortuga and then put torpedo over there. Primarily because Tortuga also hastes. So it's like if I can haste the other haste, then maybe like on net we get more value. You know, we get more time. More docks, toys from any hero. Toys could be nice. I don't know. When you use another aquatic item, charge this 1 second. Ooh. It's problematic. Because it wouldn't trigger Tortuga, but it would trigger Torpedo a lot. We're going to keep it in mind. I like it, I think, more than Catfish. So Catfish is getting put on the sell side of things. Non-weapon. We're just going to work at the docks more. We're just going to hope for another upgrade. What the... I mean, again, cool, but I don't really have like a broad, scaling build. So it's not really that useful to me. Trade health for power. I could see myself doing that. Ritual dagger. 10 max health for 25 regen. 10% max health for 25 regen. That does not sound bad. 25 max health to enchant your leftmost weapon with deadly crit chance. Lose 30% and get a diamond tier runic double bow. No, I like my weapons. I think regen might be nice because right now I have absolutely no defense against poison because poison goes right under shields. So having a 25 regen just to give me some time, I like that. Silver tier or lower item? Yeah. Yeah. I think I just upgrade the Zorkit again because I just want more haste time, especially now that I'm putting him on Tortuga. Just more haste time on the Tortuga. Foreman, Dire Inglet. I'm feeling good about this. I feel like I should just take on Loan Shark because I just want XP at this point. And Loan Shark does scale hard. Scales a little bit harder than me even. But I think I'm a little faster. I'm liking having the haste on Tortuga. I liked that. That felt good. That looked good. Tortuga was going off more. Yeah. Yup. I like that. Okay. Interesting that it's only 4 seconds of haste when it's hasting both of these for 3. But I think that's nice. Oh, you know what I just realized? The only issue right now is that the only time we're getting the hotspot trigger is when the torpedo goes off. So I just that's fine though. I just need to put the torpedo on the other side. The torpedo doesn't need to be there. I could put the shielded electrics back. First 5 times use an aquatic item in each fight. Haste 1 weapon for 1 second. Beautiful. Beautiful. Put that over there. That's good. That's good. Chocolate bars, sell small items. I've got 2 small items. I mean, I think I just need more health. I'm gonna eat some chocolate bars. Okay, we're selling off the sellables, especially these. We're going to keep catfish for now. I just need 5 spots to hold the chocolate bars. So we'll buy the gold tier chocolate. Shoop, shoop, shoop. Okay. Now we transform. We transform with mandala. And we're going to transform the poppers. See if we can get something. See if we can get something. Let's go. Huh. It's a friend. It's a friend for Tortuga. But it's not that good of a friend. But it does trigger Zorkid. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. We're going to see how it goes. I'm going to try it. I'm not confident in it, but I'm going to try.
You should know, I'm a bit of a legend on Palladium.
I'm a little nervous about it. I think Illusory might be better, but the only thing that this doesn't affect is the torpedo. But it affects Tortuga, and it helps Zorkid in a way that we weren't getting before. And having just higher Zorkid uptime could be nice.
If you think you've hurt my feelings,
Okay, okay. I mean, we won, but I need to take a look-see at the results. That did have higher haste uptime. He didn't do nothing in terms of damage. He did pretty little, but... huh. I think he's good enough to keep around for now. Maybe I can up his damage with something. Because I don't love him. I don't love him. But he is there. The jellyfish. Whenever you use an adjacent aquatic, this gains haste. That is pretty meh. That's going over there. Okay. I mean, if it was a fiery jellyfish, that's a whole different story, but I'm just drowning in gold. Let's see. That's an aquatic friend. That's an aquatic friend that is really fast. Is he faster than Illusory? No, he's not. Nothing can be faster than Illusory. Because Illusory is doing 3 every 8. So he's just, he's just way faster than the Narwhal. But the lighter, the lighter's not a friend, unfortunately. Love his orchid. Love his orchid. Love his orchid. I started watching the Once Upon a Witchlight campaign from the Legends of Avantris. I'm liking it so far. I would recommend it with the caveat that it's mainly comedy focus. I have seen Legends of Avantris exclusively in shorts. I have seen them in exclusively short form content. It seemed very funny. It seemed funny. But I definitely got that impression that it's not really trying to be serious. It's trying to be funny. And it seems like it's succeeding. Seems good. When you use a vehicle, is this a vehicle? Tortuga's a vehicle. Ooh, that's a little wacky, and that makes Fiery Calico better. Each time you crit, charge an item. If I had Flashy Pilot, that would work. Let's do it. I like Flashy Pilot. Now, do I take the chance on Fiery Calico again? Do I take the chance? The thing is, I think Illusoray is good enough that I think I do. I think I just take the chance on Calico again. Let's go! Oh, that's so much better. Oh, the Fiery Narwhal is so much better. Because it's better than a normal Narwhal. Because the Illusoray is better than a normal Narwhal. But the Fiery Narwhal will trigger the charge for Zorkin. Ooh, big pull, big pull. We can sell everything else. Okay, we're cooking. But anyways, no, but Legends of Elantris seems cool. Radiant Corsair. I know Radiant Corsair is very tough. I know he's very tough. But he has a crazy skill, and I'm doing well enough that I feel like I can risk it. Ooh, he's getting me. Is my shit fast enough? Ooh, come on, Tortuga, come on. Oh, I forgot about his skill. Oh, the entire reason I was going after him is because he has that fucking Phoenix skill where the first time he dies, he just heals to full. Oh, I totally forgot about that. I mean, I didn't forget about it. I went to him for that. But I forgot it in my how dangerous is he evaluation. Shit. All right, let's see if we get some upgrades. Astrolabe, no way. None of that, no way. So very different from something like CR and has a lot of gross out humor and sex jokes, so not everyone's cup of tea. I myself have a daily limit before those kind of jokes start to annoy me. I get that. I very much get that. Ooh, run ads, no. Shit. We're only like halfway through the days. I think I'm going to do the entire day. I'm going to do one entire day for the Bazaar, and then that's where stream's going to end. And no breaks until then. But I get that confused, Strawberry. I mean, I'm already not that much of an actual play enjoyer. Like, this is not a secret to people that watched it. Like, part of the shtick of Critical Eyes is that I have not seen Critical Role before. And I'm not out there watching a lot of actual plays in my free time. And especially ones that are mostly focused on like jokes. Like I tried to watch The Adventure Zone. And The Adventure Zone, it was funny. And it didn't have, I wouldn't say it had that many like gross out jokes or humor, but I have a limit on like comedy every day. Or at least on like strict comedy. You know what I'm saying? Like something can be humorous while not being strictly comedy. And like a more strict comedy, something that is entirely focused on comedy, I have a limit on that sort of stuff every day. I think I should swap back to speeding up the torpedo now. I actually think it's getting to the point where he's getting too hasted. I think he's getting a little too hasted, which I didn't think I would say. But yeah. So it's like I definitely wouldn't consider Critical Role, a pure comedy. And I wouldn't even really consider Fantasy High to be a pure comedy. In the way that I'm sure that you mean for describing Legends of Elantris. And I just have a limit on pure comedies. But some people don't. Some people can watch them all day long. And it's not even like, I think most, or not most, but a lot of the stuff I watch is pretty humorous. It's not dull by any means, but I do have to have at least an amount of seriousness in it. Oh, I love a submersible. It does not fit in our build even a little bit. But goddamn do I love a submersible.
Bare hands are not enough.
I was mostly just hoping that we would get a duplicate of something we already had so I could go a tier up. He's poisony. I don't think I've ever fought that before, so I don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's like vehicles and haste, which I wouldn't mind. Or the Oasis Garden. And I don't remember the Oasis Garden either. But I really want to level up. And I don't really care that much about gold. So I'm going to fight the car conductor just to see what they even got going on. You know, this is a learning experience. I was right. Vehicles and haste. Okay. Fair enough. So I'm not hardcore binging it with something like I would do to Ciara, but it's funny in small doses. I've never finished an episode of the Adventure Zone. Yeah. I know a lot of people that really like the Adventure Zone. And like I thought it was fun. But like I've said before that if I, for some reason, was unable to make content about Critical Role, you know, like a genie snaps and I can't make Critical Eyes or anything Critical Role related anymore, I would probably finish Critical Role at this point, just because I am now so invested in the story. But frankly, I probably wouldn't finish something like Fantasy High, or I would finish Fantasy High, but I probably wouldn't watch another show. Like, I kind of need the content to like give me the push to get into it, because APs are just so slow for me to get into, to the point where I end up just not. If you have a vehicle, reduce your non-vehicle item cooldowns by 15%. Oh my god, that was accidentally an amazing person for us to go to. That's a little crazy, I would say, honestly. I'm feeling good. Aquatic item, love that. Loot. Aquatic, let's do it. It's not a friend is the problem. It's not a friend. And if it's not a friend, I don't know that I fuck with it right now. Maybe just the first episode was boring, and had I stuck with it, I maybe would have ended up liking it. That is how I feel about every single AP that I have ever encountered, including Critical Role and Fantasy High. Because I tried to watch both of those before I ended up, you know, actually getting into them, and I couldn't do it. I've just found them too boring. Or at least maybe boring is not quite the right word. I upgraded the narwhal here. Maybe boring is not quite the right word, but I found myself bored enough that I wasn't paying a ton of attention, and then things would happen and I wouldn't know what had happened, and that is pretty murderous for an AP. Like, I can't just be like tuning out at random times, and I tune out of every AP that I watch when I'm not watching it for content. Until I get into it. Like I said, now if I went and watched Critical Role on my own, I think I would hang on just fine. But previously, and with other APs, that's how I feel. The only one that doesn't have a boring start of all the ones I've seen so far is C2. Hey, that's nice. Which, I mean, you know, might be part of the reason that so many people reference C2. C2 was so many people's first Critical Role campaign. Like, I know people love C2, which I'm excited to get to it. But I can see that being... Oh, this is like a weird self-poison damage build. Strange and probably going to kill me, if I had to guess. Like probably just gonna do me in right here.
I could teach you my
Yeah.
but
Damn. With no healing items, there's no universe in which I survive that. Ooh. Okay, we're a little down. We're a little down. Now the next loss won't kill me because basically if you would lose your last prestige, the game will stop you and you get like a big end game buff, and then the next time you die, you actually die. You actually lose. So there's like a last like final parachute. So I'm in parachute territory. If I lose any human match, I will have to pull the ripcord. Let's see. More chocolate bars could just be the path. I think it is. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm very pumped to get involved on C2. I wonder how much. I mean, they were already massive before, but I wonder how much of an impact C2 starting strong had on their upward trajectory, you know? I don't think I'm going to gain enough regen to actually survive against a poison deck. I think I just got to go upgrade my weapons more.
Buy my weapons, and you
Aquatic. Now, it's not a friend, but it is aquatic. Tool, property, friend, ammo. I got an ammo item. I've got... Do I have property? I don't have property. I don't have tool. I do have friend. So I only have 2 of the things. I don't think that's worth it. Nope. All right.
all my weapons have been tested in battle. Have you?
Ooh, yeah, the Enclave Revenant. I'll do that. He is a poisoner. He is a poisoner, but he's slow compared to a human poisoner. He's really, really slow. C1, C3 took a while to find their footing. C2 was great from the word go, in my self-admittedly biased opinion. No, man, I've heard just so many good things. I've heard a lot of contested things about C3. You know, it seems like a... not necessarily controversial, but it seems like there's some mixed feelings on it. Which is, I don't want to say inevitable, but I think is, like, C2 was the first one where they were doing it independently on their own. And I would hazard a guess that Matt and the cast put a lot of effort into that launch that they may just not have put into the C3 launch just because they didn't really have that, you know, I don't want to call it desperation, but they already had a super established audience. They were I don't want to say they were doing the same thing again, but it seems like there wasn't a massive change between C2 and C3. It was just a new story, a new campaign. As opposed to the much, much larger change between C1 and C2. So I think it's likely that they probably just put in a little bit more
What's your favorite
desperation type effort, you know?
is sadness?
Also, I'm enchanting an item. I think I enchant Tortuga. I think I enchant... or Torpedo. I think I enchant Tortuga.
Tiny taste of the world's
Poison? Okay. Could have been worse. Could have been worse, could have been better. Well, some of the CR one-shots, our mini-campaign, are great all the way through, including the start. Emphasis on some, and I would probably not be like... and it would probably not be like that if I wasn't already familiar with CR in general. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even the mini one-shots, I feel like they're probably like, you know, they have a thing they want to accomplish, and they are focusing on accomplishing that thing. That said, you know, I haven't seen any of it, so take all of my opinion on it with a huge grain of salt. More weapon damage would be nice. I'm not going to lie and say it wouldn't. But more health would also be nice. It's also not that much. I think this. Because this gets me more shields, which is pretty big. Gumballs. Maybe gumballs. Although haste, slow, cooldown items. This is a haste item, but I can't upgrade it anymore. This is a slow. This is a haste. I could roll the dice and try to get upgrades for one of these two. Or I take gumballs, which are guaranteed. I'm going to take a risk. I think we need to. Nothing. Nothing. Okay. More nothing. Okay. Well, you take a risk. Yeah. Sometimes you lose. We're not in parachute, though, yet. C2 was way more prepared than C1 inherently because at first it was supposed to be a one-time thing. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I don't think there's any debate in my mind that C2 would start stronger than C1. Just, yeah, it's just inherent. Like, there's no way for it to not. Yeah. Okay, we're chilling.
Defeat does not defeat me.
The 24 damage probably wasn't that substantial, but it was something. It was something. 48 damage, It's more than the narwhal's doing in burn. Okay. Now, my only debate... No, I think I'm good. I think this is the setup. I think this is the setup. We just have to try really hard to keep enhancing the setup. Let's see. Haste item. Haste item could be a Tortuga, which would be great. But I could just go to this and have more options. Nope. All right. Go next. No. Yep. Nope. Now. This could be a decision. Because... So this is when you use another aquatic or ammo, this gains 30 every 6.6 seconds. Which this would get its cooldown reduced a little bit because of command ship. This is when you haste, this gains 40. So it's not going off. It's not gaining the damage nearly as often because it's only gaining it from Zorkid and Toxic Tortuga. But it itself does charge Toxic Tortuga. You know what? I think it's worth a try.
Make me proud.
I remember about how much the torpedo did last time. I think it was about 700. It's worth a try just to see what happens because it's a little bit faster scaling. And it's a little bit quicker of a cooldown. That 5.9 seconds is faster, and we're going to haste it. And it's a friend for the Tortuga. So, I think there's a possibility that this goes pretty well. And I could even swap these two so that this is hasting even more often. But I'm going to keep it here for now. Weapon skills or skills unique to Vanessa? Probably weapon skills. Because these are all weapons. While your enemy has more health than you, weapons have their cooldowns reduced. Interesting, but I've invested a lot in my health. The first 10 times you use an aquatic haste one weapon. And this is just when I haste. Ooh, that's pretty big. That's pretty big. We're gonna see. We're gonna see, but I think there's a pretty large argument that this will go well. No, definitely not. Definitely not anything that we rolled there. All right. Okay, a veteran octopus is tough. But on the chance that we could get the octopi's core, this guy, that'd be insane. Because he's an aquatic friend. And he's multicast 8. He would charge the fuck out of Tortuga. And it'll be a good litmus test because he's really tough. Dude. Holy shit. Look at that damage.
Not even a bat.
How did he have a 100% crit chance? That come from Flashy Pilot? It must have. Oh, holy fuck. That was a lot of damage. Now, to be fair, the shielded electric eels did help a lot, and they helped Tortuga trigger a lot, but that's a lot of damage. Okay, who cares? That's a lot of damage. Let's see. I feel good enough to try it. The Tyrant's agents have found you large items. I love taking more combats with this, but I also want upgrades for Tortuga specifically. Because Tortuga's triggering a lot, but he's not getting a lot out of it. Electric eels, love it.
Money. What should I do with it?
I should not water wheel. I should. Ooh. The shielded electric eels. They're just a charger for Tortuga. I can't do it. I can't do it. No, Tortuga. Damn it. God, because Tortuga is still a wimpy little silver. If I could get a better Tortuga, I'd be pretty in the money, I would say. I'd be a little in the money. More regen isn't terrible. Medium items, temporary boost. Let's go regen. It's not terrible. Okay, this is the real test of the Shark Ray. We're gonna see how he goes. I think I'm gonna do this just to trigger more and more and more haste, because his cooldown's pretty light. So we just get more and more and more haste going, charge him even more. Let's do it.
You should know, I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago. My fight isn't with you, but if you insist.
Okay, okay. Oh, they've got large eels. That's not great for us, I'm not gonna lie. That's not the best thing I could have seen. Yup. Damn.
I flowed.
Oh, because it has like multicast 4. Jesus. Oh, because he got it from the card table. Oh my God. I mean, the Shark Ray did great. I don't think that's on the Shark Ray. That's a counter to our build. It's doing so much slow. It's healing so much. It's a good build. That's good. All right, so now we get caught by the parachute. And we're going to enchant. I think. Or I upgrade bronze and silver to gold, which would upgrade the Narwhal and Tortuga. It is either I enchant the Shark Ray, because he's doing a lot. He's doing a lot of damage. Or I upgrade this guy 2 tiers, so he just does more damage, more burn. And I upgrade Tortuga 2 tiers, which gives him a fuckload of more damage. What am I saying? I do that. I need Tortuga to be better. It gives him so much more damage. It lowers his cooldown. I need Tortuga. I need Tortuga. He's the linchpin in the build. He's kind of not carrying his weight currently. We're just going to gain some XP. Small and medium. Buys larges. I mean, small and medium, I could get a Shark Ray or a Narwhal. Or I just get chocolate bars. We just go more health. Because it never hurts to have more health. Sometimes you could consider it a waste of money or like not a good money spend, but it never hurts. Void Golem is too scary. He destroys one of your items like at the very beginning of combat. He's a little too scary. Although, is he? This could be the test. This could be the test. Because I actually think the build still does stuff. even if something like Shark Ray gets destroyed. I think it still does stuff, even if something like Tortuga got destroyed. Now, will it do enough? Totally separate question. The answer is no, but close. That's tough. That's tough, but I'm okay with it. It was a good test. And I still get to upgrade. I know it needs to happen. I know it needs to happen. Especially when I'm giving Tortuga so much of my trust and care with this Narwhal Zorkid shit. I just got to make him the best he can be. He's got to be the best like no one ever was.
Come on in. Let's chat.
Okay. I've always wanted to use the Slumbering Primordial, but he's so hard to find. And I don't think when you poison, freeze, or burn. That would take away so much of my defensiveness with the shielded electric eels. Because they also slow. But it would be a big fuck you amount of damage. I can't do it. I can't justify it, but I have always wanted to. I'm using adjacent. Nah.
Maybe I'm not cut out for business.
Okay. Weapon, gumballs, medium item. I think we just go gumballs. Shield, health, shield, shield, damage. More gumballs. All right, this is make or break. I hit the parachute last time, so this will determine if we move on. I mean, every fight from now on could knock us out. There's no way to regain prestige that I'm aware of.
People are a pattern.
I don't love to see poison. I don't love to see poison. We're going to see.
Every failed experiment lights the path to success.
Okay, okay, okay. That worked. That was beautiful. Okay, and Tortuga's the star. As I knew he could be. That's the thing about it. I only put so much pressure on him because I knew he could do it. Now, the question is, this went off 3 times. Probably would have gone off twice if I hadn't been hasting it. Is that worth it? I don't think it is. I could get an extra Shark Ray trigger for that. I don't think it going off 1 extra time to charge Tortuga once to get 1 more haste. I don't think that's worth it. So, I think we haste the Shark Ray. Like that. Small non-weapon, chocolate. Dude, I'm just guzzling chocolate bars this run. Because if I'm not going to have any healing items, I might as well have a fuckload of health. Get rid of that. I'm committed now. This is what I'm doing. Medium and large buys smalls. Nah, let's just study. More upgrades. Property Baron? Do it. Let's see what you got, Property Baron. Okay, those are big numbers, but it looks like you charge very slowly. No contest. It's no contest. With me. That's the thing. All right. Oh, yeah. I mean, he still went off 3 times. And you know what? Shark Ray still only went off twice. But everything actually worked out pretty similarly. What the fuck is this? Deal damage equal to 3 times the value of your items. This has double value in combat. If you have 5 or fewer items in play, this has multicast. So, okay, wait. What's its value?
This is how you win a war.
360. So if I did that, oh, less. I mean, it's not a friend or aquatic, is it? It's not. Okay. Yeah, 5.9 seconds. It multicast twice. I mean, it's not the craziest thing to keep around. If I get an option to enchant, maybe? Or if these guys' items goes up, like if I enchant, like if I get him up to diamond or something, I don't know. That's a bit iffy. Diamond tier or weapon? Definitely diamond tier.
If you know you are the best, it's not
Okay. When you burn, your items gain 3% crit chance. That's pretty decent. Nope. When you freeze. Nope. That's okay, but I think I reroll to try and get something better. When you poison, your weapons gain 15 damage. The first time you fall below half health each fight, haste 6 items, 2 seconds. That's... Your leftmost item has +2 damage when you buy a weapon. Increase the bonus by 4. No. Bold under pressure. More haste. More haste. Go faster. That's it. Torpedo's gone. We get gumballs. We don't even need to look at what the gumballs do. We know we want them. There's no reason to save at this point. We're pretty damn locked in. The only thing I might flex is that, but probably not. Okay, start your next fight with a shitload of shields. I'm into that. I only need to win 3 more times. Let's start with a shitload of shields.
We're out to dethrone a king.
Okay. Pig is typically slow. They're typically slow, and they typically have a lot of health and shields. What the fuck is that? Oh my god. Oh.
Don't let this get you down. Eyes on the prize.
I did not even have anything resembling a chance. What? Your weakest weapon gains damage equal to your weakest weapon's damage for the fight. Damage equal to the shield. You have +2 income. Gumball machine for gumballs. Heal equals 2 times your gold. And that's, I mean, these are all good. How the fuck did he get it that high? That's the thing. When you sell another non-weapon item, this gains shield. How do you get that many items? When you buy a property, get 1 chocolate bar and 1 spare change. I guess he just bought a lot of shit. God damn, dude. That's insane. That's lunacy. And then I have no idea how your weapons gain damage equal to the weakest weapon's damage. Deal damage equal to shield. So does that mean that it gets buffed up to that level? That seems wrong, but maybe. That shit's crazy. GG. I lose to that, yeah. There's no way. There's a storm outside and a big thunder made me not hear the end of the phrase, so it sounded like Mega said, every time you die, gain 5% cringe. Dude, right now, honestly, playing Pig is a little cringe. I won't lie. Hey, I won't lie. Pig is, which sucks, because Pig is my kind of character, but damn is he overtuned right now. He is very good. But that's okay. That's okay. Maybe next time I play on stream, we'll play some ranked. Oh, but we gotta open the loot chest. Oh my god, what's gonna be in the loot chest that I can add to my collection? I'm only opening the loot chest because you have to get currency, which is how you buy new heroes. I want to make it very clear that I do not care about, oh my god, the Tesla coil number 96155. I don't even think that they are NFTs, but the fact that they are numbered like this, like, all of this really gives NFT energy. And to my knowledge, there is no NFT stuff in the game. But it gives big NFT energy. That's the thing I dislike the most about this game. You're still here? I'm just about to leave. I just finished the Bazaar run, and from my knowledge, let me refresh, but I believe that it has continued to work. Yup. It worked the whole time. Now I'll have to figure out how to, or what to put as the last thumbnail for like the VOD. I guess it's not that bad to have it just be the last screenshot that was taken. I could always manually take a screenshot too of whatever I wanted the last frame to be. You know what? That's not a bad idea, actually. Ooh, actually, wait. Pause, hold. What if I do this, right? So the stream was about the Bazaar. So I go, ooh, pretty. I go open image in new tab. I zoom in on that shit. And then I go manually, I manually trigger the update thumbnail code. I refresh. The thumbnail, uh-oh. Did that not work? There we go. That worked. All right. And then I just unenable it for the rest of stream, which is going to be like 2 minutes. Hey. That's a thumbnail in the books, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we take a thumbnail around these parts. Because the whole point of all of this, of all the tests and everything, was to make a system that is very low effort for me. So that seems like a pretty low effort way to get, like, frankly, pretty decent thumbnail. That doesn't look too bad. So I think that's what I'm going to stick with. Thank you all so much for sticking with me. We'll be back for Critical Eyes tomorrow, and we will be back again probably on Thursday for another like woo stream. I don't know what that means, but I'll be back for, I want to try just going live more for like shorter periods of time. I mean, this was 4 hours, not a good example, but I think that this will help me because one of the titles, never a problem for me, never a source of friction. Thumbnails, huge source of friction. So we'll see. We'll see. And hopefully, the hope, I don't know if it'll actually end up happening, but the hope is that then if it's like, oh, Mega, what do you think about this during Critical Eyes? I can be like, hey, hit me with that tomorrow. And that could be kind of fun. That could be kind of good. We'll see. I'm excited for I am excited an appropriate amount for the episode, whether that is low or high. Interesting. I could see that. I'm so normal about the next episode. I'm the normalist for sure. Okay, cool. Well, I'll leave y'all with that. What the fuck does that mean? Actually, I know exactly what it means. Uh-huh. All right. Well, time for me to go write a takeaway. I'm going to do that. And then you'll see it later. And that's all. Goodbye.